Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday night stream of Blades in the Dark. This is our very infrequent, on demand, occasional happenstance where we join and return to the spooky city of Duskfall. I'm really excited tonight because I love this game so much. My name is Corey Hickson. My pronouns are he, they, and I think we'll start off with some introductions. Uh, Tell us who you are, pronouns, and then after that, I think we'll maybe do characters as a second go around. Maria, did you want to start by telling us about yourself?
Sure. Hello, I'm Maria. I use she, they pronouns. I forgot literally everything you told me to talk about myself.
I think that is.
That was it. Cool. Hello.
You can add on more if you're interested.
I'm at Happy Capster. I play other games here and variant roles. Ta-da!
Yay! Kyle,
Yay,
do you
yay,
want?
yay.
Oh, good. Kyle, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Kyle. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me online at Technoscald, and I'll be playing Dark Dust, who also uses he, him pronouns.
Sweet. And Alex.
Hey everyone, I'm Alexandra Gaston. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character Biddy, our barbarian-esque character that always comes in with a new shiner or new scar because she's dumb.
Awesome. Abby, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Abby. I use she, they, and I've got Crow, our pseudo wizard who uses they, them.
Fantastic.
Definitely did not introduce my character whose name is Echo, and she uses she, her.
I've got another character thing that we're going to add on, so we'll do another round. So I wanted to introduce Duskfall really quick. Duskfall is this strange, spooky city. It's similar, you can imagine industrial London, Venice, Italy, lots of canals. It has a few twists, though. It's haunted, so there are ghosts essentially everywhere. It's sort of in again, in the industrial era, so there are things like Sparkcraft technologies. There's stuff that's powered by demon's blood. Interestingly enough, the entire city is surrounded by a giant lightning wall because outside the giant lightning wall is where the very bad things are, like the Eldritch Gods and other terrors that have essentially caused a terrible calamity on Earth, potentially, on this planet, many thousands of years ago. There's vampires in this place. There's magic in this place. It's a very tight city, which makes it very prone to crime. And another interesting thing about Duskfall is that it's always night. Essentially, a long time ago, there was a terrible calamity and it blotted out the sky. And essentially, we live in the perfect setting for lots of crime. So with that in mind, what I would like to do is get sort of like another character introduction in just a second. So feel free to think about your character. Get ready to describe a little bit about how they are and tell us what they look like in the moment where they've just finished like a big score. They've just, walking out of the building. There's explosions going on in the background. And tell us how that looks. While you think about that, I'm going to give us a quick recap of our previous narrative. So previously on Blades in the Dark, the Ring of Winter went with one of our companions, Banshee. Not privy to the eyes of our immediate story, she began to learn more about the ring, and the ring began to learn more about her. Furthermore, there have been rumors that have been spreading about the night of the destruction of the holding cells by the demonic force Biddy. There were many lives that were lost that night, and from that day forth, Biddy became vicious with a capital V. Dark Dust tattooed with the snake, that knight became gravely ill in the coming hours. And in that night, she who slays in the dark, serpentine demon from the jealous unknown Sitara, took something from Dark Dust. She possessed a duplicate of Dark Dust, and fled into the city, chasing her jealous visions. Since then, the group of smugglers have had some time to recoup, and some faces that have not had a chance yet to be seen in the main story are going to be joining us, which is super exciting. And with that, Kyle, would you like to introduce us to Dark Dust?
So, as you see a warehouse... Yes, I am. Thank you. As we see a warehouse, and in the upper reaches of the warehouse, we're seeing it from the street, there's explosions going off, people screaming. A large, hulking man steps out of a side door. He's got a very long cloak that seems to shimmer with darkness. He pulls it around him, and the darkness around him turns almost into a black mist, and he steps away, never looking back.
Fantastic. I love it. Alex, would you like to tell us what Biddy is looking like right now?
So Biddy is stepping out into the crisp night air. Probably has blood splatter all over her face and her neck. She stands a hulking 6'1", 6'2", rippled with very strong muscles and tattoos, adorning a fresh bruise and scar on her face. And her eyes seem very dark and cold. Like if you cross her path, she's not going to ask you questions. She's just going to kill you.
Fantastic. Abby, would you like to introduce us to Crow?
Crow is just tiny and thin and lanky, and you do not see their face. It is just a mask, and they're just walking, and they're going very quickly, they're very precise, they're very hopping, like kind of a crow. Just getting away.
Awesome. Maria, could you introduce us to Echo?
Echo, they're currently seated in a comfortable chair, surrounded by other patrons who are also sitting in comfortable chairs, watching a performance being played out in front of them, as a message is delivered to her. She's shorter, about 5'3" or so, very dark-skinned with voluminous natural hair. And she has a kind of soft features, but piercing bright blue eyes.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for your fantastic character introductions. So how we're going to start this night out is we need to figure out what the crew wants. I've got some ideas about what we could do, but it's really going to be a group discussion about where we want to go, what we want to do. And this is going to be us doing some sort of like free play. And once we've got a general idea, we will start our score, and I'll walk us through the process of that. Is there anyone who has any ideas at the outset on what they're interested in, on how to further... Oh, yeah, did you have an idea?
So there is a thing that I need to set out at the... we talked about briefly. So after busting Biddy out of prison, Dark Dust was in a bad way. I mean, he was beat to hell, getting his friend out. And so he ended up having to... So he has... I will generously call him an ex-lover within the Bluecoats, who are the extremely corrupt police force in the city, who he showed up at his name is Darmut, so he had to show up at Darmut's door and get help from a medic, and actually take some. Not only it took so much, not only some of his own coin, but coin from the crew's vaults to hire a medic, and so now he's still pretty battered and bruised, but at least now before he had. I seem to recall some sort of ice explosion that had pierced through him.
Yeah, I think it was when Ink made a giant ice wall, which Biddy and the crew exploded with an explosive barrel, and giant ice shards went flying everywhere.
That's right. So his scars are healing. He's still got all the bruises and so forth from the lacerations. But we do have if Biddy has any remaining needs any healing, that this person is at least available for us. But this is the second time in a few scores that Dark Dust has had to go hit up his ex for assistance, and I don't really know where that leaves them, but that is definitely the thing between the two of them.
Yeah, so I added a clock to your character sheet called Darmut Wants a Favor. And for those of you who are new, a clock is sort of like a timer. And how they work is as they'll complete a few segments at a time, like 1 to 3-ish. Once it completes, something will happen. Usually they'll suggest what it's going to be, but sometimes I also like to make them vague and spooky and along those lines. So we'll have that clock there, and we'll see how that advances. Yeah. Did you have anything else for Dark Dust recovery?
No, for the recovery, no.
Okay, awesome, cool. I've got a question for Echo and Crow. How do they feel about these two characters? How do they feel about this sort of vicious rumors spread about demonic influence with Biddy, and how do they feel about Dark Dust, who's essentially it's known within the crew that Dark Dust has had some dealings with a demon. What's the stance on that?
Interest. Deep, abiding academic interest.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Also curiosity, but a slight distrust, a slight instinctual distrust.
Yeah. Okay. So jumping back, what are the crew's goals now? Like, do you want to pursue stuff about Sitara, this demon? And I did create another clock, which I'll just mention really quickly, just toss that in there. If you jump onto the crew sheet, there's a clock called Sitara Makes a Stir. Just more clocks, things happening, stuff going on. Yeah. Any interest?
So I have a question about that, actually.
Yep.
Which is, and I don't know if this has happened yet in the fiction or just you warning me. You were mentioning something earlier about mischief that Sitara had been up to that might cause, in the city that is, cause Dark Dust some trouble. Has that already happened? Has word gotten back to us about that?
I don't think word's gotten back to you yet. That's what this clock is. Once that advances, it'll push some stuff forward.
No worries.
I did have a quick question. I did notice on my character sheet rumors about Biddy, and the clock is full.
Those were the demonic rumors.
The demonic that I was possessed? Was that what it was?
I think it was.
I can't remember what it was.
I think the rumors were that you were a demon yourself. Like everyone was like, "Oh, stay away from them. That's a demon," because of how powerful you were essentially.
I am ascended. I dig it. Cool. I don't think really Biddy has any type of opinion as to what comes next, as long as she's able to just kind of wreak some chaos. She went through some training, and I have a feeling she probably got kicked out because it took like multiple people to get her off of the person she was sparring with.
Tell us what that training looked like. Tell us a bit more. I like that idea.
So Biddy didn't really sit still very well. Didn't want to sit still. Didn't want to really take that time to heal. So instead, she just went back into what she kind of knew best, which is fighting, and took her time to try and spar. But what was supposed to be technique turned into a little bit more wrecking the place, and just people started to not spar with her because she just took it too far and probably got kicked out at that point after she almost killed somebody.
Sweet. Awesome.
Too brutal.
Yeah.
Can we say hello real quick to our raid? Hello, Other Doc and friends.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, dears.
Hello.
Hello. I must look like a yeti in this get-up. Sorry.
No, it's good. I like it.
Went from demon to Mrs. Doubtfire, because that's what you do.
As one does.
As one does.
Yep.
So I'm going to toss out some options on what the crew could move towards. You could, again, go with Satara, further that, figure more stuff out, maybe sort of prevent whatever she's planning. If you want, you could try and advance the crew's financial situation. You could try and learn a bit more about somewhere where you could get like a really good score as far as money. You are a group of smugglers, so you're a bit predisposed towards that, but that's not the only option. One thing that you can look at is on your character sheets, under planning and load, there are 6 different types of plans that we can choose from. So if anyone has any preferences there, we can like lean towards one, figure out what it looks like, and go from there.
Well, I don't know about these new members, but let me tell you, my pockets are getting a little light, getting a little empty. Sure wouldn't mind making a little coin. Whatever, brings in the coin is good for me. There may be demons or whatever running around, but we'll be fine if we get some coin. Right, Biddy?
I mean, I need some coin if I'm going to buy a little bit of drink. Definitely.
Cheers to that, my friend. Cheers to that.
Definitely wouldn't mind just getting my hands on somebody. I'm feeling a little bit bored. Ready to go.
Well, that seems a little dangerous.
I like the danger.
I agree. Perhaps you should keep your hands to yourself.
Perhaps you shouldn't be telling me what to do, dearie.
Well, some of us might know a bit better about the more intellectual sides of things.
I think you just called us dumb, Biddy.
Well, she can call me dumb all she wants, but we'll see where she's at when she needs the hammer.
Probably be somewhere safer. Because I was smart enough not to get into a bad situation.
Oh, listen, do you really want to be starting this right now?
Let me just suggest to both of you, as a colleague and friend, that sometimes, it's true, sometimes you need somebody to go beat the hell out of somebody else. And sometimes you need a favor from somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And that's why we're a crew. And not, just dock rats running around on our own.
I'll try
You
to
make a fair point.
How about this? When you need some of the fight, you know where I'm at.
I mean,
Right,
Echo, I imagine sometimes there's somebody who's come looking for you and you'd rather they not, and you want somebody to call.
That's fair. And when you find yourself in a bad spot, you know who to contact to get you out.
I found that lightning tends to stop people.
What was that again?
Lightning. It's very
Lightning?
useful. Yes, lightning. It's very useful. God, the accent. It's contagious.
No, I really enjoy it. Lightning. That's pretty vicious. I like it.
Yes. Well, it is very fun to use. I says well.
Well, Dark Dust, did you have a job in mind? Perhaps
Well,
with the coin.
we could always go steal some coins from some motherfuckers.
Oh, I do
mean-
love it when you talk to me about stealing from some motherfuckers.
That's always one option. Might be our friends here know of something else. We heard of anybody moving something maybe through the city that we could take off their hands for them and resell.
Take off their hands for them. I can do that.
You
I
know,
don't think he means that way.
Ah,
The less fun way.
let me tell you. Sometimes I have learned with Biddy, because Biddy and I have had each other's backs in some difficult situations.
absolutely.
Sometimes you need to take something out of somebody's hands, and sometimes you need to take their hands right off of them, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I mean, that's definitely the most fun way to do it. So let's go steal some shit then. Does anybody know any shipments that are moving?
No, but I could find someone who does know.
So this is a good spot where some of the options to find people is on your character sheet. You've got one of your up arrows, that's a friend. Otherwise, we could do a consort roll to find people.
No, I have a friend who happens to be an information broker.
Oh,
So I'm going to go
might
with that
be-
one.
That might be helpful.
I chose wisely.
Awesome. So this is Celia or
Yes.
Salia. How you tell me how?
The first one was the one that I was thinking of. Celia.
Yeah. So you want to get information from Celia on?
On any sort of well paying, or rather lucrative endeavors that someone such as myself and those who have a bit more bloodlust in them could take advantage of, that
Mhm.
also might not get too noticed.
Oh no. Good luck.
Okay.
Hey, thanks.
So I think this is a roll, but one thing that I want to ask before we do the roll is, out of the 6 plans, which one are we sort of like leaning towards? Because I'll use that to inform what information we get from Celia. So there's assault, occult, deception, social, stealth, and transport.
Personally, I kind of lean towards stealth, but I don't know how the others feel about it.
I definitely would not mind a bit of stealth in this.
Yes, stealth would be a little bit fun.
And
I'm
despite
just
what
with
Echo
you
might
with that.
say, Biddy's the insurance policy when the stealth goes up.
I'm the assault.
The backup assault.
The cavalry.
Awesome. So we'll do our first roll. So since this is the first one, we can sort of go through it because I haven't played in months, so I need to remember what we're doing. I'm gonna
So
try
it
and
sounds
find.
like maybe we need like a gather information roll first of some sort.
Yes. And so, Maria, as the character, you get to choose which action you want to do. And then I'll sort of adjust like the effect and position. I feel like consort or sway are relevant here, but it's really, you can tell us how you're doing it and how you're sort of working with Celia.
Okay. I definitely think consort would be the way that she would go, just using all of her friends and information she's gathered and things that she knows about the area to try to figure out the best possible scenario for the entire group to take advantage of.
Okay, I think that makes sense. I do have a devil's bargain as an offer if you are so inclined to entertain the idea.
Right out of the gate with that, are we?
Oh, on the very first roll.
Okay.
So if you want an extra dice for this consort roll, Celia will have information on the entry point, essentially based off of how well this roll goes, and that's going to help us with future rolls. But I would like to offer you, if you accept, Dark Dust to join in this meeting. And the reason why I want Dark Dust to be there is so that Sitara has a way to listen in, if you are so interested.
Oh no.
It's only one dice.
I'll keep my mouth shut, I promise.
Dealings in the night.
I think you could also use it to get increased effect, but I'll have to double check that. You can always say no as well.
Yeah, I think that she would say no.
Yeah, you do have 2 dice already, so.
Yeah, and well, it's mostly because she's untrusting of demons and those who have heavy influence with demons.
Yeah.
Even though she has at one point worked, it's because she worked with demons for a while.
Yeah.
And she just must learn not to trust them.
Okay. I dig it. So for this consort roll, it'll be risky standard. Pretty normal, unless there's any other things that might be impacting it. You could push yourself. People can help you. Otherwise, I think you can go ahead and do the consort roll.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to push myself for this one just yet.
Yeah.
Risky. Boop. Boop. No bonus dice. Boop. Oops.
Oops. Fantastic.
RNG, baby!
Womp womp.
So I
I
think
rolled a 1 and a 3 for chat if they didn't.
yes.
By the way, I have it up on. They can see.
Oh, do you? Yes.
There it is. Hella
It
delay.
takes a sec. It'll just take a second because Twitch is behind. That's how it goes.
Twitch,
Awesome.
get on it, Twitch.
So on this case, I'm gonna read out what the options are. Things go badly. You suffer harm. A complication occurs. You end up in a desperate position, or you lose this opportunity. I think what happens is Celia does have this information, and it's the exchange works. Everything is fine, but there's some unknowns that are they just don't even come up in the conversation. And I'm just going to make a note of that for later.
For the future, and what will never be used ever again.
No, it'll be fine. Yeah, but you do get some information. And I think I'd like to tie this back to one of the existing NPCs. So the group knows a witch. I think her name is Quellen. If I remember.
Oh,
Yeah. Abby.
I almost want to say Jake Wellen.
Oh,
You mean Jacqueline?
So
One more goddamn time.
Hey, Avon.
Celia informs you and the group that there is this strange location that has sort of come into existence underneath a very rich noble. And your witch friend, Quellen, friend for some of the group, not friend for parts of the group, I should say, would be able to help you out and get you in there. Yeah. So that's in Blades in the Dark, that gives us like the bare minimum for what we need to start the actual heist or the score. But what we can do is we can start figuring out a few more things, like is there any other bits of planning that we want to do?
So I have a question. Is that stealth or is that social?
This is going to be stealth because Quellen is going to show you where it is, and it's
Okay.
going to be hidden underneath. It's basically a hidden entrance into this noble's
Okay.
place.
All right.
oh.
What is
Yeah.
this thing that I have? It says we have a fearsome and wild gang of tier 1 rustabouts, and I have in parentheses temporary asset.
So I think that was from an acquire asset roll a while ago.
Yeah.
And you just sort of like went, and if I remember correctly, you roughed up a bunch of people at the docks to convince them to help you out in the future.
Sounds
And
about
I
right.
think they do you a favor.
So if we need a wild gang of tier 1 rustabouts, I'm your lady. I've got the hookup. The direct line to some fearsome gangs.
Is that on your character sheet or the crew sheet?
No, my sheet.
Okay. All right. I just wasn't seeing. I was making sure. That's all.
Yeah, I just have Biddy's sheet up right now.
Yeah, so that gives us the bare bones. If we want, we could hop right into it. But what questions do people want to ask? What things do we want to figure out in addition to that?
I would love to figure out who this rich noble is.
Okay. Yep. I think that's totally fair.
If they're full of the occultist shenanigans, I would love to know that before we just hop right into their house.
But it'd be much fun if they were.
All right. How do you want to do that? Do you want to like keep leaning into your consort, or
I I kind of want to get someone unrelated to us and our group to go scope it out for us. So maybe using Sway.
okay, you're looking for someone to go case the joint essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Dark Dust. I forgot your name. Sorry.
Dark Dust, the name. Lurkin's the game.
Oh, goodness.
Well, my good sir, if you would like to, I think it would be a good idea to get eyes on this place before we set feet upon the ground or whatever the term is.
Yeah, I could do a little bit of information gathering to see exactly where we're going in and who this place is.
Or if you got some helpful hands if you don't want to get your own dirty until the time comes.
No, I'm thinking that I can go prowling around up in there and see what I can find out.
Do you need some backup?
I could use some assistance if you want to give me some assistance.
I'll follow you anywhere as long as there's a good fight in it, perhaps.
I keep trying to avoid the fight and it keeps finding me.
I know, that's why I love going with you everywhere.
Perhaps you shouldn't tip our hands before we're too...
I'm sure it's going to be fine. So What I'm hoping
Right.
for out of character is I'd like to make a prowl roll with the extra 1d from the assist. Does that sound good, Corey?
Yep, I think that makes perfect sense.
So
It'll be
then
risky
Biddy would mark
standard.
one stress, right? Is that how it works?
Yep.
This is less me
well,
telling you,
there's-
making sure that I understand.
Yeah, there's actually two options. So Biddy can just like mark stress and you get an extra dice, or you can get increased effect. There's two options there. The other thing that Biddy could do is do a setup roll, which is something separate. It doesn't sound like that's the case, but it just listing all the options.
So she would just take the stress and he would get an extra dice.
Yeah, or increased effect.
Yeah, I'll take the extra dice.
Kind of like an intimidation.
That's a good question. How do you help out this situation?
I was
I feel
imagining that she's kind of keeping an eye out for me, watching my back, making
Yeah.
sure nobody.
And at the same time, if somebody's like maybe not wanting to give that much information, her just sheer presence and fearsome rumorish background might.
You're just standing there, and that
Yeah.
presence is
Scary.
making people, yeah,
Very
okay.
uncomfortable.
So is this going to be?
I can take the stress if we need to.
Yeah,
to
and
give
it's just
you
one
the
stress.
extra dice.
Yeah.
That's
Bring
right.
me
So
all the
for
stress.
those who are new, if you push yourself for an extra die, you take 2 stress and get the extra die. If somebody assists you, and they have to be kind of like present normally, there's a difference for Echo. But if they assist you, they take 1 stress and you get the extra die. So teamwork is, and you'll see in your sheet in the lower left, it'll talk about different ways to assist a team member. Is way better than just expecting everybody to go it on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
I
the
will
one-
just take the stress.
Sweet.
So what's my
The one-
position here, there, GM?
Yeah, it'll be risky standard. The one caveat to people helping is that they are now entangled in whatever consequences might
Right.
happen.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay, well, let's see what this does. Oh. Whew.
Nice. All right. So we got a 5, which is our partial success. So you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer some harm, a complication occurs, you have reduced effect. So I think what's going to happen is you do get reduced effect out of this. And the reduced effect is that you do learn that this noble, let's get them a name. Let's call them, this is Narcus. Because that sounds like a very nobly name to me.
Narcus?
Narcus.
Narcus.
It sounds
Clearly,
like
as
somebody
a smuggler,
who,
I already dislike anybody named Narc anything.
right? I'm like, sounds like somebody who's going to squeal at like the slightest breeze.
I think so. You learn a little bit about Narcus. They're trying to get into things that are bigger than what they can really hold themselves on, and they're getting into things with the occult parts of the city, which is probably why this mysterious entrance below their place has randomly appeared. Yeah. You don't learn, because it's reduced effect, you don't learn like what these involvements are or what some of the consequences are, but you learn that.
All right. I'll report all that back. I'll report back what we learned to Echo.
Yeah.
See if that answer your question there.
Well, it confirms some things that I wish it didn't, but at least we know about it.
You know, forewarned is forearmed. That's what I always say.
So one question I've got for this score is for Crow. So previously we've had a whisper in our group who was actually friends with Quellen the Witch. How is Crow rivals with Quellen? What is their situation like?
Ex-girlfriend and the two of them desperately argue about how to do about how magic works.
You have
Which
to
is
do-
why they're exes.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Cool. Is there anything else that we want to sort of understand before we like jump into the action? If not, I think we can hop in. So in Blades in the Dark, what we do next is the engagement roll. How this works is I'm going to ask the group some questions. We're going to talk about them, answer them, and then we will roll a number of dice based off of that. And that's going to tell us if you end up like you're in, you've got this figured out, plans are going according to plan, or it's going to tell us like you got there, things are going wrong, everything is bad. Please go into panic mode because stuff is happening.
We're running. It's bad.
I was about to say that.
Just emerge from the wall. We're running. It's bad.
It's
So
fine.
the first thing is you get one dice just because the game gives you one. And then the first question is this operation particularly bold or daring?
We're robbing from somebody, right?
We're robbing from a noble who's got some odd connections, so I hope
I
so.
think that it's bold, yeah.
If it's not, how can we make it bold and daring?
I can beat up
And-
the noble while you guys are robbing him.
And
Let's
so
lock him
for
in his
clarity
house.
to the new players, the reason is that in the opposite of what you think, because Blades in the Dark wants to incent you to do bold and daring things, you actually get a bonus to your roll if it's bold and daring, not that it makes things more likely to get complicated. The assumption is if you make it bold and daring, it's going to get complicated on its own.
So I would suggest that this is more along a normal, like you're going there, you're stealing stuff. I think it would be bold or daring if you did something like you wanted to go to their house, walk in the front door, and steal, that way. So I think it needs a little bit more.
That seems more like an assault than trying to sneak our way around.
Okay.
Maybe we're going to maybe
how about
the
the
bold and
assault?
daring is in
How
what?
about-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Correct me if I misunderstood this, but is this this kind of a cultist type practices or fascination? Is this something that perhaps Narcus does not want to be revealed?
I would say so. Yeah.
Could then we attempt to also expose him while doing this other job?
I would say that's bold and daring if your goal includes exposing this.
I'm very interested in that.
Okay.
So
Sounds like fun.
my question is, and I'm totally down for that. If we do that, that gets us maybe favor with the noble's enemies.
Yes. Something
I'm in.
like that.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Huzzah!
Make some money and make friends in high places by making enemies in other high places.
And
It's all
that's
good.
how you do.
Do I get to punch the noble at any moment?
Potentially.
Well, probably.
You know, Biddy.
I'm
Again, if we get caught, we're gonna have to make sure that they don't do us bodily harm, and therefore we have to do them bodily harm.
Well, you can't do bodily harm if you're dead.
Oh,
This is why we're friends.
That's not true.
Well,
can.
I mean, if you're like non-corporeal, it might be a little bit difficult.
Vampires are a way you can hurt while dead.
I doubt. I almost went Russian for some reason. my,
Well,
my,
I
other,
don't
Accents
know.
just they're going everywhere.
my other character is shining through. My Russian. I don't think that me killing them is going to give them any type of vampire powers.
Well, probably not given what I've learned. We probably could not make them a vampire. Maybe a ghost if they were very, very set on staying, but probably not a vampire, but just you said they could not hurt if they were
We could
Not if
probably
they were
get to
dead.
that. We could probably get to that bridge when we get to the bridge.
Yeah,
We could
when
burn
you-
that bridge when we
You
get
can
to it.
you can punch that bridge all you'd like when we find it.
Biddy
Yay.
is not the brains of the operation, if you haven't noticed. So y'all just tell her what you need done, and she'll do it.
And then there's Crow, just like, yes, we could hit, but we could also know how to hit better.
But we could also science.
Science.
So I will add in just a little lore tidbit because we've been
Ooh.
tossing those in. Vampires in this game are actually, let's back up. When someone dies, that means within 24 hours their ghost will discorporate from their body. If that ghost possesses and inhabits someone permanently, that is how vampires are born within this setting. Just for interest. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to sneak into this place to steal a bunch of money and expose them. I think that will be bold and daring. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
There are
Is it-
4 factors, and they're in this party.
Yes. Keeping the tiny one from getting distracted
tell
is
you.
probably an entire thing.
Compared to the time that we smuggled arcane beagles,
Yes. That's,
and compared to the time that we had to throw up a wall of ice in the canals while drifting in our barge, and I don't mean drifting like the motor wasn't running, but the motor going at 120%. This is the simplest job I have seen in months.
What if
Really?
I
it's true.
branded the noble?
If you what? The noble?
Branded him.
That would be very
listen,
difficult.
You're wanting
if-
to expose him. What if I branded him?
That might happen. It might not happen.
I,
see
they
it
may,
when we get
I,
there.
I very well may know something about the branding or the arcane nonsense.
Brand.
Brand.
Smuggling.
But anyway, I don't think that makes it over. Like from my perspective, I don't think this is an overly complex plan like we have done in the past, where we had to break into the university or whatever.
It is comparatively, you go in, you go out. Hopefully,
I mean, that's the plan.
yeah.
Do we
Mhm.
know
We'll see
if
what actually
the-
happens.
Yeah, I think Echo's mind is just like thinking about all these 3 other people and of what they can do and what they could do and what else they could do, and then all of the other unknowns that are possibly going to happen. I think Echo is just over analyzing everything, and so everything is super complex to her, like all the time.
Okay. So I think that answers that one. So right now you're at 2 dice. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Yes.
That's the plan.
Influing?
Aren't we
Yes.
trying to expose this person? And it's at their home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sounds so
I-
terrible, but we're doing this and we're like taking their like safe space and not making it safe anymore.
I do know some stuff that I took from the consort role from before that as a GM, I'm going to chime in and say this is not where they are weakest.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh boy!
Oh,
I had
boy.
a question. Do we know
Yeah.
of any type of fortifications inside this house? Was that something that we found out at all?
You tried to find out, but the roll was a 5, so it didn't get.
I have
that
a
far.
question. I have
Right.
a question. So my special ability, I didn't go with the default. I went with weaving the web, which gives me a +1 die to consort,
Yes.
and I didn't use that.
Do you want to add that dice on and we can?
Can I?
Yeah. Let's do that. We just need to know if it is a 4 or higher, essentially.
Okay.
You want to roll a d6 and in roll 20.
I don't know how to roll dice and roll 20.
I think it's /R.
Just /R.
Yeah, or
D6.
you can in the upper left. There's a little menu, but yeah, that works.
Nope.
too.
That's
No,
okay.
no,
Nothing changed.
nope,
Nothing
nope,
changed.
nope.
Everything's fine.
Um,
Cool.
that is good though, because that ability gives you an extra dice to the engagement roll.
That was the
so-
other reason I was going to bring it up. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. So you're actually at 3 right now. So the next question is, is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? Yes,
don't
they
know. They do.
They do? Okay.
Yeah, this is
So
usually. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So because I went with Dark Dust, well, that was Jester for some reason. Because I went with Dark Dust to go and find information, I can't do anything on my own, correct? Because I've already assisted in trying to do something.
You can still do stuff.
So I can't go and try and beat out information out of somebody.
It yes and no. Like you could. It sort of depends on the situation. If it falls underneath the role that we did before, I would say probably not. But if you want to do something different, then potentially.
Because the role was pretty broad, which was finding out what kind of defenses there were, and we weren't able to find out much.
Right.
And
exactly.
so going back and trying to do that again is just gonna be like everybody rolling for perception.
Yeah, it wouldn't be another role. I'd say we already did it in. Yeah.
That was covered by that role, I think.
And I'm not very smart, so don't know what else to do.
Awesome. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? I think that's a,
Potentially.
I have a gang of roustabouts.
I know a vampire.
I have Casta, an insider woman. She was one of my.
So, Corey, I hate to say this,
yeah.
but
What?
I'm going to. And
Are
maybe
you
this
gonna
is an
ask
upcoming
Tara?
thing, and feel free to tell me this.
Yep.
On the contrary, I have a noble rival.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I have a blue coat friend, but I don't think I'm trying to pull on that thread right now.
Mm,
In the sense of trying to use him as assistance to get the extra die. That's all.
right. I don't think they're involved. Like we haven't got them into the story yet so
Yeah,
far.
that's what I mean. I don't think Darmit's involved, and I'm just on the other noble. I don't know if it counts or not. I was just letting you know for
Yep.
however
yeah,
it works.
that's good to know. Celia did help though, so that would count and give the dice.
Yay.
Yeah. The other
For the
thing-
record, the last time this went wrong, I ended up in prison, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Well, we
Got it.
must not let that happen again.
You know, it might be somebody else's turn to take the fall if it comes to it.
Nope, I'll go back into prison. It's fine.
I am strong.
So the last question is: are there any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation?
Does Satara count?
She isn't a part of it yet.
Okay.
We haven't pulled her in yet, and maybe she won't get pulled in. There is Quellin, the ex
Yeah.
girlfriend, who I think would probably count for that.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself.
Oh no.
Are there any other considerations for the engagement role that we want? I think that's everything, but
Does me being involved instantly make it super risky and therefore give us another dice?
Echo certainly thinks so.
It's like, oh great, we brought the loose cannon along.
I feel like whatever complications come from Biddy coming along are going to happen in the... I'm just guessing that Biddy's going to make it complicated once she gets there.
Oh, good. We bought the bowl into the china shop. Oh, great.
It's gonna be like all of a sudden you brought a bull into a room that's laced with red.
I think that's on par with your crew going forward. Like,
On brand.
yeah, it's on brand.
Totally on brand.
Right.
Yeah,
I forget,
So-
what was our
your two
thing
dice for the. Oh, which
our,
thing?
our reputation is daring, so yeah.
Yes.
Bad reputation. Bad. Sorry.
Ooh, that's not too bad.
Did we die?
Did
This
you
is
add the
the
extra
over.
die for my?
Yeah.
'Kay.
I got that one.
We
Um,
got a 5. And
Yeah.
That's not bad. I
It's
think.
not a one.
Success. It's not
Okay.
it's not a 1, 2, or 3s, exactly.
So let's paint the picture of this stuff that's beginning to happen. So you're a crew of smugglers. You're going to this noble's house. Apparently, this weird door has appeared that is now leading into where their treasury or some kind of money is. Quellan the Witch is going to be present to sort of make the magic work or something. We can jump back onto those details. You start in a risky position. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to start a clock. And this clock is going to be, it's going to represent that it's going to be you've caused a bit of a stir getting here, I think. And so you're on a time limit. Who do you not want to show up to this?
Satara. Right?
I was going to say
We don't want
either
her to show
Satara
up for anything.
or my rival, but Satara probably makes more sense from the existing fiction.
All I can think of is like Morgan Levain like showing up randomly to anything Merlin's trying to do.
One other thing, and Corey, I just don't know how this. So, question to you:
Yep.
should we have already picked our load, or does we pick that now, or in a minute?
I'm going to do that right in
Perfect.
a second.
I just couldn't
But
remember if it
thank you for
affected
reminding me.
that engagement roll. That's all.
Yeah. So we're going to call this clock. Satara wants to check in on the crew.
What
Hi,
a title!
guys.
I just thought I would see how you're doing.
See, Emma, this is where clocks come from. I
don't know
love
if
clocks so much. I introduced them into my other games.
Yay.
So, Kyle, you mentioned a really good thing. In your character sheet, you choose whether you want to have a light, normal, or heavy load going into this heist. If you're light, you look like you're a secret operative, you look like a normal person, like you're indistinguishable from other people. If you come in with a normal load, you look like you're on a mission. And if you go to heavy, you look like you're on a mission and you're actually slowed down with how much stuff you're carrying. The important thing, though, is you don't choose your items until you want it. So you can leave everything blank, and it's just, out of my magic narrative bag, I brought with me my weapon. So you can leave everything blank. If it is in italics, it doesn't cost anything to bring with you. So you can bring those for free. If you're not sure what the items are, feel free to just ask and we can sort of talk about what they are. Some of them, the comment items below, have a drop-down menu that you can sort of open up and take a look. And if the item is bolded, that means when you use it, you're going to get increased effect, which is good for when you roll dice with it. So what load is everyone going to go with for
So
this?
I have a question, and I'm trying to remember. I literally just don't remember. Is it the difference between light and normal? I'm not interested in heavy.
Light is you can blend in with a crowd.
But I mean,
Normal is you
Is it just
look like
affect fictional positioning, or does it give some die bonus, or which?
there's
actually,
no
fictional
mechanical
positioning is better.
stuff.
Just the what?
There's no mechanical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's better because fictional position is everything in games like these.
I was thinking a normal load because I feel like we'll need at least something to possibly assist in excavating the funds, whatever they happen to be. More so than just like our natural skills and wiles.
Sounds good.
I will be going light because my job is to infiltrate and sneak in.
I'm probably going normal just because you never know what you're gonna need.
Yeah.
I think I'll go normal as well, considering I have a feeling I would probably have to be taking a brunt of a lot of the merchandise, being
Yep.
the big ox of the group. So
You're the mom at the amusement park.
I am. I'm like the one with like the 12 million backpacks and 3 kids on my arm. Yep.
Oh my god, Biddy is the mom? That's terrifying.
Oh,
Mom, stop getting into fights all the time.
how dare you, cat in line? I said it was my turn for the ice cream.
Oh no.
Listen here, bitch. Don't tell me how to parent my kids. Sorry.
Yes.
So, as part of your crew, you've got smuggler's rigging. I'm just going to mention this really quick. You can bring 2 items with you, and they're completely concealed, even from a pat down. You don't have to choose what they are, but just keep in mind if you get patted down.
Stop, Maria.
No, I just have this wonderful item called demolition tools that I would love to bring and not know, like no one knows that I have it. It's just like, oh, what is that? Oh, nothing.
Just pulls out a jackhammer out of her butt.
Sticks of dynamite.
Where was she keeping it?
Where was she keeping that? Extra dimensional pockets.
Yes.
Awesome. Is there? I think that's everything for us to start the actual heist. Yeah. Okay. So your group has shown up. Dead of night. It's night all the time, so you just show up whenever. Quellen has met you there. There's this door. It's sort of like, I imagine it's on like the bottom of a cliff, and on top of the cliff is this big, huge noble's house, bigger than it needs to be, super excessive, ridiculous. There's like maybe some nice tall walls that go into a garden that too many gardeners have to take care of. And you get to this door. No one has noticed you, but you do begin to hear some whispers from Sitara, and she has found a way to link essentially with the entire group. You're not really sure what they're saying, but you just begin to hear them, and you think that, okay, Sitara might be on her way, potentially. And you get into the door, and Quellen is there, and she's just sort of like, she casts some spells to open the door. Inside is a sort of small beach, and there is a large pool that goes out. And Quellen says, well, it looks like we're in, and feel free to go ahead. I think it's that way. And she just like points out into the darkness of the lake that you're looking at.
There's a lake inside the house.
Yes, you go into the door. There's a small beach. The rest of it is water, and everything past that is darkness.
Is it like inside the cliff? In other words, like in a grotto of some sort?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of under the house ish. Right.
It is weird because it seems much bigger than what is physically capable.
That was an unexpected surprise, which is not comforting when it's the first step into the door.
Well, magic is often very weird. This is very weird.
Is there a boat around?
There's no boat around.
So it's just like
Just a beach.
we have to walk into the water, into the darkness, potentially.
Is there any noticeable is the beach that we're on, is it just a horizontal beach that just kind of stops, or does it seem to like go around at all?
I think it's maybe like a semicircle around the door. So it maybe goes like 15 feet out in a radius.
Cool.
Yeah. How's your group seeing? What's the light situation?
I mean, I could, if you wanted, I have a lantern. I can light up the lantern.
Well, that would certainly let everybody know that we're here.
Oh,
Right, but
I'm not saying it's not the right choice. I'm just saying we should keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'll take out a match and I'll go over to Dark Dust and I will like strike it on his cheek. Like the lantern. I was gonna strike it on my own and then forgot that I was a female with no facial hair. It just wouldn't have worked out well. It's like, oh man. And turning around, does it look like there's, because she said that we had to, Jake Quillen said we had to go through the lake, right?
She gave like a very hesitant, like, yeah, I think it's that way.
Are there like stepping stones or something that might be just underneath the water surface that might be a secret?
As you go up and take a look, the beach just sort of goes down. There's no stones or anything. It just
goes
goes
straight into the
down.
water.
I have a question.
Yep.
Can I make ice? Since my thing is Tempest.
That is a good question. I'm going to take a peek. This is with your special ability.
Yeah.
Don't
know if chilling frost / snow might be able to create even minutely a path.
Yeah, that is a great question. So I'm just going to read out the ability for some of the audience.
yes.
It says, summon a storm in your immediate vicinity, torrential rains, roaring winds, heavy fog, chilling frost or snow. So I think you could definitely get the chilling frost and snow to take ice onto this if you want.
Yeah, I think Crow would just be like, well, if you want, I could probably make ice. At least frost some of the water. That might help.
Do any of you think we should just, kind of take a closer look to this whole situation and maybe see why it is that we're in a space that seems bigger on the inside as we're under the house? Maybe one of you has got some ways of doing that.
That perhaps might not be the worst idea.
We all know I'm not that smart.
I should have thought of that. This is my area. I should have thought of it, but yeah. They're just kind of like, yeah, let's do that. Let's figure out what is going on.
So it sounds like, and I'm suggesting this to the group here, that we want to do some sort of a survey, observe the situation, and anticipate outcomes.
Yeah.
Yep, if you want to do that. One of the options is you could do it as a team action, which means one person will lead, everyone will roll. You get to take the highest result, but the leader is going to take stress based off of how many people roll a 1 to 3 as an option.
Sure.
I will take the stress.
Okay, so Biddy's going to lead in the survey.
Absolutely. I am the smartest one here.
Oh,
So
God.
I should tell you, I don't have any dots in survey. So if I do this, I either have to push myself, which is pretty early to be doing that, or there's a good chance that you'll be taking stress because of me.
I have no dots in survey. I have 2 dots in hunt, though. I
have
hunt so well.
I have a dot in survey.
I have 2 dots in survey.
Yeah, I thought Echo might.
So yeah, I thought so too. So we could just let Echo do the survey, or we could go with the plan, right, and let Biddy lead us in that. Biddy's going to take some significant stress, likely. What do y'all think?
That's.
If you take time to stay here, I'm going to bump up Sitara's clock by
Oh.
basically everything you do that doesn't dive forward is going to be Sitara getting closer.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, no.
I will just say that I get very antsy and I don't want to be
right,
in
let's
this
just
area
do the
very
group
long,
thing then.
and I will start looking.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we just all is it that we just all roll? Is that how it works, Corey?
Yeah, so everyone can roll. You're going with survey?
Yeah, I think we're doing a group survey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone can do the roll. you can push yourself. It's usually not worth it just because you're paying 2 stress to save someone else from 1 stress potentially.
this-
But you know,
Is this
Up to you.
risky controlled or something else?
risky standard.
Sorry, risky stand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And no bonus dice, right? Because I have nothing in survey, right?
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Oh!
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no!
Hey, I got a 5 and a 4, and Dark Dust got a 6.
I got a 3 and a
Dark
5.
Dust had 0 dice, so it counts as a 1.
I got a 1.
Fortunately, Echo got the 5.
Hey.
Yeah. I got a 5.
So that's 2 stress to Biddy?
To Biddy.
Right?
2
Yeah.
stress to me? Cool.
And so the highest one was a 5. Cool. So you're trying to understand, like, what tell me a bit more about what information you're going for.
We're trying to find either an exit or a way across, like a path, I assume, because if we've just come
Yeah.
out of the beach with a
Yeah.
lake, we don't
Yeah.
really quite understand
I
what's
guess
going
trying to-
on.
Yeah,
And to
trying
see
to
if there's
understand
anything
like the idea of this like room, this weird magical space that we're in, to see if
Mhm.
there's somewhere to either exploit it or bypass it.
Yeah. So you begin looking, you sort of get a closer look at the water, maybe you move into it a little bit. This does take some time, and Satara's whispers begin to get a little bit louder, just a tiny smidge. As far as you can tell, it doesn't look like there's any features out beyond here. It doesn't look like anyone's been here recently. But as players and the audience, we see this ripple go out into the water. And I'm going to start a clock. And the clock is going to call.
Kraken unleash it.
Let's go with that.
What? No, I didn't. Shit.
Alex, why?
See,
Do not
this is what
bring
happens,
things to
y'all.
crow.
I don't. Kraken unleash. Oh, shit.
I was on the
Listen,
same.
the best ideas come from me. Where do you think the arcane beagles came from?
Oh, I thought that was Notch. That was you?
That was me. That was
That's
100%.
beautiful.
Gosh.
Counterfeit beagles was like my thing.
I did have this written down on my notes beforehand, so I like that we're on the same wavelength.
That doesn't
Really?
make me feel better.
Okay, so I just want to... Nope. I think our characters don't know that, so never mind.
Yeah, this was player information, not necessarily character information.
Right, no, I got it. I absolutely, that's my point. Yeah, I was like, what the hell is a Kraken doing under a house? But never mind.
Does that mean we've been kind of led into a trap? Is that what it seems like?
I don't think we know that, do we?
Speaking as players, it could be a trap, but it also could just be like weird magic stuff that's been going on.
So, but we came in to rob this place, and right now it seems like we're trapped in this room.
You can go out the door. The door is open right there.
The door we came in.
Yeah, the door you came in.
So, is it possible to think that Quellen gave us false information and we need to go out and find another way around, or do I just need to start swimming?
It's up to you. Quellen is still here, and you could ask her if you want.
Quellen, you folking with us?
She says, she backs up for a second and says, I saw some visions. I saw this door. I didn't understand why the door was wet at the time, but it makes sense now. That is as much of what I got. Yeah.
Look, we're just trying to get the loot. I'm not looking to go in a swimming pool. Did you bring us here? Like, is this actually the way we're supposed to be going, or? What?
My visions do not lie. They've never led me wrong before. And I think there's like some subtle subtext about Quellen's visions and Crow's relationship. I'm sure there's something there.
Oh, Crow is in the background, just kind of, just like mask on, just staring and just staring ahead, not saying anything, but like quivering and just, I want to say something, but professionalism is a
How does
thing.
Crow feel about divination magics?
Quellen does it wrong.
Oh,
So,
The entirety of it is that Crow and Quellen have very different opinions on how things should be done, and Crow has always been like, no, you do it wrong. You need to do this, and this, not that, and that. Why do you do it that way? Also,
Well,
apparently my accent is going really wrong.
so we don't have any. We don't see any other way across this
Oh
lake.
God!
do we?
you haven't seen anything.
I'm gonna hand the lantern to Dark Dust, and I'm gonna go swimming.
Ooh.
All right.
And I'm gonna
kind of
try
hold this up.
and see and go kind of in the direction that she had originally pointed out, into the darkness, and see if I can either find a bridge or an exit or a door.
So, if on this lantern, is there any kind of a hood on it where I can kind of point it in a direction, or is it just like an omnidirectional like lantern you have at your camping site?
That's a good question.
It just says
Um,
lantern, so we could.
Yeah, there's like, well, I mean, in the description it said it could be a simple oil lantern, a fancy electroplasmic lamp, or other light source.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to mention that it's something where we would have. I think we would have brought something where we can point in different directions and not just a beacon of where we are. So I'd like to, as she's
Sure.
going across, whatever you end up doing, I'd like to assist you in some way by shining that light on you, so that you always have some light
Like a
on
spotlight.
you, but also around you.
Yeah.
Got it. Sounds good.
Okay, and what is what's Echo and Crow? Are they just going to sort of observe this and see what happens, or?
Yeah, Echo is going to observe this happening and then kind of, while sidling up to Quellen, just kind of lean over and say, so was this a vision about our potential success or our potential failure? Because it's kind of seeming a bit like the latter.
She thinks for a bit and says, well, historically speaking, it's been visions that lead to successes, riches, and other valuable things. It's part of why my services are important in Duskfall. I don't think there's any failures to be coming through.
Crow, what do you think about that?
Well, she has always said that it is only success, and yet I have evidence that it is not always successful, her visions. Usually, but not always. In short,
That's what I thought.
she's not as good as she thinks she is.
I think Quellen at this point is sort of like, she turns and says, if my services have been utilized, I am more than happy to leave. If my presence is not accommodating. And
I am sorry.
she looks very smug about the whole situation.
Crow is just like thinking back, like, tiny rain cloud. Like, no. Don't remember if I know how to do that. So Crow's just kind of like mentally just like, wait, do that? Just mentally trying to figure out a way to rain on her parade, literally.
Also,
Y'all
thank
can
you,
deal
Kyle.
with, whatever issues you got after we got a job to do.
Thank
That
you,
is the
Kyle,
point.
for all of the gifted subs. That is
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just give them the
That's
community, and Twitch figures out who to give them to. But
Yeah.
this is my 4th game in the last 4 days on variant rolls. So I'm having a good time.
Oh,
Eli.
cool. Um, cool. So let's jump to Biddy going through the water. You're trying to go out further and like see things, or okay. What do you want to lean into? What action?
Well, considering I'm a blunt instrument and I have 0 brains, I don't know if skirmish or wreck really come into the water.
Wreck that water. Wreck
Yeah.
that beach.
I'm not sure
I
that
do-
there's combat
I
here
do-
yet.
I do have 2 dots in hunt, so it could be trying to follow a path, trying to pick up a scent. Not that I'm smelling it, but you know what I mean, like a trail. I can justify anything as long as it works in my favor.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that depending on what you pick, will depend. That will determine what kind of results that we get. Like, it's not just a number of dots, but it's also
Yeah.
Like, if you do
It's
this
almost
action, you'll
correct.
get one type of result, even if you rolled 6s. And on this other action, you get a different type of result, even if you rolled 6s.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the second entrance, the exit. I'm trying to find the way to our loot. I just want money.
The other option is
Mhm.
Biddy is you can swim. It's something you can do.
Yeah.
You could just keep swimming, and we could wait and see what consequences happen, and then you could resist them. Is also
Just
a
keep
possibility.
So I'm literally just doing the backstroke out there. Well, I mean, I was trying to find, because they said it's going to be, through the darkness. And so I
Yes.
kind of have dark dust spotlighting me a little bit. I understand that there's only
Yeah.
so far that can reach. It's better than the pitch darkness that it was.
Yep.
But I am trying to find something. I don't know if just swimming around is exactly my goal.
hmm Okay, that makes sense. And which out of the actions, I forget which one you were settling on.
I did
Might be
say
prowl.
hunt, but I don't have anything in prowl. I mean, the only thing I have things in is fighting
Oh,
and
so
command.
But keep in mind that with my assistance, you're getting an extra die, so it's like having 1 dot. In
Okay.
anything.
yeah, Prowl does specifically say swim.
Okay,
So
then
I'm gonna-
prowl. Yeah,
I
that
just
works.
realized that. But it's
Prowl
your
about
turn.
unseen and traverse obstacles, climb, swim, run, jump, tumble, ambush with closed fire. Yeah, prowl sounds fine. I'm not really trying to ambush quite yet, but no, I'm good with it. Backstab, throat cutting. Ooh, I need to get more in prowl.
I know, right?
Okay, sweet.
And that's also
So-
good because if you do well, maybe we don't get further on the Kraken clock.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Hopefully.
So Dark Dust is going to spend 1 stress to help, I think.
Okay. I believe that is what he said.
Okay. There's a Devil's Bargain as an option. You can push yourself. This is going to be a desperate standard.
Okay, desperate,
Currently.
standard, 1 bonus dice.
Yep. Unless you want to push yourself or do the Devil's
Well,
Bargain.
push myself does 2 more stress, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to, and I don't think I want to. I'm at 3 stress currently. I think I'll
That's fair.
save the push myself for now. And Devil's Bargain.
So the Devil's Bargain in this case,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is going to be. I would let you get to where you need to go,
Okay.
but it's going to be splitting the party.
Oh. Really, I mean, I would be fine, but I doubt anybody else would. It would be splitting the party, as in they wouldn't know if I found something, or would it
Yeah,
be like a
you-
permanent splitting the party?
Not permanent, but you would be away and out of communication
And out of communication.
unless you have
Oh, I
some
could-
other way.
And so I could find something, but then they would never know.
Yep.
I won't do it.
Okay.
I won't do the devil's bargain. I want to, if I find something, the goal is to make sure that the crew can get to that thing. So
Yeah.
it would be, yeah. So I'll just take the 1 bonus dice.
Ooh.
Was it bad?
Oh
shit!
No! Oh,
I
no!
drown.
No!
Let's maybe get to a break if we want.
You always know it's going to be good when you have to go to a break.
I'm going to take 10 minutes to think about the full consequences of this decision. Yeah, so Kyle, if you're ready, you can send us out and we'll be back in 10 or so.
Yeah, folks, give us a few minutes and you'll know when we see it here. See y'all.
Oh no!
Welcome back, lovely audience. We are going to hop right in to the situation at hand. So Biddy is swimming, gently going out into this lake. And
Because why not?
you got to get to the other side somehow.
You know?
And there's these ripples that begin to wash up onto the beach. And Biddy, you sort of begin to like look around and things are like not quite as they seem when suddenly and explosively a giant kraken bursts through the surface of the water. There's just enough light from dark dust that you can see it, but the interesting thing about it is that it has these features that you almost recognize in Narcus. It has this weird sensation of familiarity to him. But Biddy, as soon as you're able to recognize this, these two kraken tentacles come, pick you up, 2 pieces. What?
Yeah. That's not gonna happen.
You're gonna resist this?
I absolutely am going to resist this. Either that or it's going to be like, all right, guys, I'm going to go take a nap. Yes, I would like to resist dying, please.
Yeah. The other option is you also have armor as a possibility.
Right.
Armor will help out with harm. But I think resist is probably... Actually, we might even need to use both, depending on what we do.
Okay.
This is going to be a level 4 harm, which is, death.
This is a level 4 harm is death, right? So what are we doing? Are we not dying? What's going on?
Are we not dying?
So you've got 3 options. You can either insight, prowess, or resolve. This is probably prowess.
Yeah.
Physical strain or injury is definitely physical.
Right.
Tell us how you're resisting this situation.
It depends. In resisting, am I allowed to inflict any type of damage?
That would be a follow-up roll.
Okay. Let's see, how would I resist being ripped in 2?
You can narratively do damage, but we might do a roll after that to follow up on it.
Right. Because the coolest way I could think of was just as I'm getting pulled, flex my body and pull it back enough that I can get a sword out and just hack off one of the claws that has one of me. One part of me, so it might still have me, but at least it can't rip me in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But you just see probably if I'm getting squeezed, what am I horizontal and it's trying to break me apart this way?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You probably see me fighting it and then just every muscle flex and the water's wet, so you can definitely see the definition, as I just kind of pull my body into itself, pulling the claws together and just taking a sword and trying to hack off one of the claws to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we can definitely roll our prowess on that.
Prowess. Would this be just a prowess roll in general?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
And do I have any bonus die on this?
You could push yourself, but usually that doesn't really translate well on a resist roll because you're trying to reduce your stress that you're going to take.
Right. Okay.
Since you're going to try and get out of this situation, I think the conclusion
Do I have any bonus die?
after this roll is you'll take a level 1 harm of just knocked around or something that you think makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can go ahead and do the roll.
So I just press prowess, no bonus dice, and that's it, right?
Yeah, unless Devil's Bargain doesn't really make sense, but you can
That's
go for
fine.
it. So now you take 6 minus the highest dice. So you take 3 stress as you are in the situation where you've basically torn off the other tentacle that was planning to tear you apart. You're still being flung around. There's a level 1 harm, and you can put that in on what you think represents how you're feeling, or you could use your armor to completely negate it if you want.
My armor?
Yeah.
What? So I could just take the stress and just no harm at all? Or the armor, so I could take the stress, use armor, and I only have what, one use of the armor?
You have the first use is two weight, and then the second use is 3 weight.
Okay, so I would just be taking up 2 of my normal weight.
Yep, if you want, or you can take the harm. It's up to you.
What would the harm do other than?
So a level 1 harm means whenever it affects you on a roll, you're going to have less effect on rolls going forward until you heal it.
I'll just use the armor.
Okay.
I want to be super effective.
Yeah.
All right, so no harm, 3 stress.
Yep.
Using the armor, so now I only have 3 of my weight that I can carry.
Yep. Exactly.
Got it. And I'm still being held by this thing.
Yes. So let's jump over to Echo, Dark Dust, and Crow. The 3 of you see this. You can make out what's happening.
Just in the distance, you hear, holy fuck!
Oh,
whoa!
Just 2 things. First, Crow just turns to Quellen. Well, did you see that happening?
The most shit foreteller ever.
Just like,
Basically, and then and then they just kind of go, well, I wonder, just like sightline, like I think I could hit with lightning. Hey,
I think at the same time Crow's doing that, Echo is going to pull out a pistol and just shoot it.
yeah, no.
So like narratively, like from a movie standpoint, like we see Crow like lining up a shot, and then just right next to him comes into the frame is just a gun.
okay. So we're gonna shoot some. Are we shooting the lightning?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely shoot lightning.
Okay.
And then also a
Okay.
gun.
Yeah, for gun and lightning. How does this work?
Okay. So I'm gonna start a clock for the Kraken. I'm just gonna call this. The Kraken is subdued, I think.
Okay.
So all of the actions that you do will help advance this and get Biddy out of the situation at hand.
The predicament.
Let's start with the lightning. One question: how does this lightning impact Biddy in the water?
Oh.
So that's what I was thinking.
My thought is that Crow's like vaguely aware that Biddy is in fact in the water, but is primarily like, it'll just be a mild stun. It'll be fine. Biddy will be fine. They will just have like 3 seconds of problem, and then everything will be fine.
3 seconds of issues, and then you won't feel anything anymore.
Okay, I like it. So you can spend your 2 stress for pushing yourself to activate the ability.
Yeah.
And let's do, this is in a tune roll, I think, unless you want to use something else.
No, I'm good with the tune.
Can it just be one of those moments where it doesn't actually hurt Biddy, it just makes her even more mad?
I would
Don't
also
hate her, it just makes her mad.
It's a possibility.
Oh god.
If
I'm
it's
just recharged.
okay, and for this roll, since you pushed yourself, you get either an extra dice or increased effect. And I'm gonna say that this roll is risky reduced. So if you just do it normally, it's not going to be the most effectful thing against the Kraken, but there's ways to bump it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bump it up.
I'm like, 1 extra dice. Greater effect. Greater effect.
Okay. So that'll bring it up to risky standard.
Okay. Let's let this go well. I have no dice. Okay, that's a 4.
Yep.
That's a number.
That's not a 3.
That's not a 3.
All right. So I'm going to take the Kraken is subdued twice. And we see Crow. Tell us how this lightning just like hits the Kraken. Tell us a bit about that.
As Crow's just like sightline, hand is like a pretend gun. They just like sightline and then just, and it's like Zuko. It's
Yeah.
like Zuko or Zula in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just lightning just streams out of the hand. It connects the two for the briefest of seconds before just removing itself from the hand and just shooting out.
Okay. So this was a partial success. So the thing that happens as a follow-up to that is, as Crow is doing this, you don't notice that a tentacle sneaks up onto the beach, grabs your leg, and yanks you into the lake.
Okay, yep.
with it.
I know that Echo has a thing coming up, but I would like to, after Echoes, try to do something to that tentacle as it's yanking her into the lake.
Okay, let's do the gunshot, and then we can jump over to that.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. So what role do you want to use for your gunshot?
Me? Well,
Yeah.
you see, I'm not really too much of a fighter.
I'm not really a marksman. I just thought they sounded real cool.
I mean, you can,
Yeah.
everybody is if you just take some stress.
I think this is what one would qualify as a stressful situation, so I think it would make sense to do with that thing. And I guess I mean, I'm literally trying to wreck this Kraken's day.
Is it wreck or is it skirmish?
So skirmish, I think, is close combat.
Yeah.
Hunt is
Fight
usually
is destructive.
Hunt is usually ranged combat, but it depends on how you do it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think.
Oh, attack with precision, shooting from a distance. Okay, yeah, either
I
one.
mean,
I don't
so
have
again,
any. I have zero. I have 0 ticks in either of them, so it's the same.
Okay.
It'll tell
same
me
thing.
what happens though. So which one?
Okay, I want to do precision shooting.
Okay.
So I'll do hunt, and I will. As I have no ticks in hunt, that doesn't mean that I have to push myself, right?
If
that right?
you push yourself, yeah, you can get
Okay.
a bonus dice or increased effect.
Okay.
There's also the Devil's Bargain, or
Can I
if you do
assist?
neither of those, it'll roll 2 dice and take the lower of the two.
Can I assist with
Gotcha.
the lantern?
Gotcha.
Yep, we can do an assist.
I'll
if
take
you
a
want.
stress and assist by shining the lantern so that she can have a better vision for her shot.
Okay.
Okay. So this is gonna be a risky, reduced effect.
Okay.
The crack is pretty tough against a bullet.
Okay.
But,
I think I would like to push myself to try to make that a higher success.
okay, so that'll bump it up to risky standard.
Okay, and do I immediately take the 2 stress?
Yep.
Okay. Risky standard with the hunting.
Da-da-da-da.
And then do I get any bonus dice?
You get 1 from Dark Dust.
1. Hey, it's not the worst.
The same as Crow. Not the worst.
So tell us more about this gun shooting to the Kraken.
I think she is aiming for if the Kraken's tentacles, is it still holding you with 2 tentacles at this point, or just the 1?
Just one.
Okay. Whatever point seems to be not aiming directly at my good new friend Biddy, but just below where it's holding on to her, to try to pierce through enough that it like loosens or lets go of her, not necessarily trying to kill the creature, but trying to provide Biddy a means of escaping. So like shooting out, the equivalent of like shooting out the knees, or like
for the
aiming
eyes!
for exactly,
Boo's not
but
here.
you know,
Okay.
on a tentacle.
Yeah. Okay, this gunshot shoots out. It hits the tentacle. Biddy, you drop free into the water again.
Cannonball!
The loud bang of the gun, though, makes the Kraken sort of like shift its gaze, and it's looking right at the beach now. It shoots out another tentacle towards your group, hits the roof, and a bunch of rocks come falling down onto Crow. So that will be
Sorry.
sorry, confused characters. Echo. Sorry, because it was
Sorry.
Sorry to myself.
so that's a level 2 harm
Ooh.
of rocks
You
fall.
might want to resist some of that. Just a
Mm.
suggestion from one player to another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
also armor as an option. There's
Stress is
possible-
an option.
Even though I'm in the water, can I still try to fuck up this Kraken?
Yep.
Yeah.
Punch
I
a
did.
Kraken.
Yeah, and I'm
Um,
going to stab it, so.
Go for it.
I would like to try to not take as much damage. I think I'll try. Well, can you remind me again how resisting works?
Yeah, so you'll roll probably prowess, unless
Okay.
you have an alternate way that you want to resist this.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll take stress equal to 6 minus the highest dice. So if
Okay.
you roll a 5, you'll take 1 stress. You're always successful when you decide to resist, though.
Okay, I would like to try to resist using insight, specifically because survey is sensing trouble before it happens. I want to essentially play that off as I kind of knew that this would be loud and pretty distracting situation, and kind of was expecting some sort of a retaliation from it, so it is not surprising. Although the rocks falling is more surprising, but I knew something was coming.
Okay, so you're like out tacticking this Kraken.
Trying to
Yeah.
out tactician a Kraken.
Yep, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
So if you click on insight, I think it should.
Yes, and I don't have any bonus dice, right?
No.
Huzzah!
No stress.
Yay!
Wow!
I'm smarter than a fish, you guys! Wahoo!
I mean, I'll give it more credit than just being a fish, but yes, wahoo indeed, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
A cephalopod!
Exactly. It is technically a cephalopod, but yeah, no. Woohoo.
Is it possible, as I'm falling into the water and that tentacle shoots out, to kind of like gain footing on that tentacle, shoot myself back up, and try to stab it in the face?
Yes, I want to jump to Dark Dust.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Dark
Dark
Dust
Dust.
was as soon as he saw that tentacle reaching out for Crow, wanted to whip out a blade. So he's got this kind of long combat knife, right? And that's why I marked that as one of my 3 load already. And I want to basically skirmish with it. By default, what would be the position and effect on that?
So this is usually a reduced effect, but you have the special ability that lets you bypass the quality and tier of security measures.
Right.
So for you, this is going to be risky standard.
Could I make a devil's bargain for desperate great effect? Like if I'm really I'm trying to just saw this thing off, but with the
Right.
devil's bargain being it's desperate. So if I screw up, maybe something really bad happens.
So you don't actually need to do a devil's bargain. If you want to do it like more desperate and get a greater effect, that's something you can just sort of, if it makes sense, do.
That's what I would like to. Do you think it makes sense?
Yeah. How are you? Tell me about the desperate part of it again.
So
How are you,
I'm not just running over and trying to stab it. I want to just dive on the thing and start trying to saw at it with my knife, but realizing there's a good chance that it could just curl up and grab me anyway instead.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
combat knife. This is not like a long sword or anything like that, right? It's just a blade.
Yep. I think that makes sense.
And does what Biddy said, does that maybe count as an assist, or that's going to be a separate roll?
I think that'll be a
Setup?
separate rule in a second.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to find what I can get.
Yep.
Hey, man.
Okay.
Haggle.
So, and it's trying to set up. It's more about figuring out what makes sense in the story, right? And then how we model that in the game system, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. This is awesome already. No matter what, even if we all die here,
Yeah, that's very
I'd
true.
prefer not to.
I would prefer not to as well. I mean,
Biddy's had a
know.
good run.
right. We get back to the right window. Okay, so we said desperate and effect great. All right, everybody.
Oh, I'm worried.
Oh, and we said no bonus dice, correct? I can't think of anything that would give me a bonus die.
So you can push yourself, and there's the devil's bargain still as a possibility.
What kind of a devil's bargain could you offer me?
Ooh.
Oh, let's see.
I told you before the game, I will always entertain and likely accept. There's a good chance I'll accept any devil's bargain somebody throws at me.
Give me just 10 seconds to look at the notes.
Well, while you're looking, thanks to everybody who rated us.
Awesome. Yeah, I was going to
So
say.
many of
Twice
it.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, while he's thinking, we should thank the Raiders, and we have lots of people watching, which is awesome.
Raiders in the Lost.
I mean, most of us, I think almost all of us, all of us, we're just doing this just to hang out with friends. So anything that brings more friends and more people hanging out is fantastic, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't leave the house much.
Same.
All right, so your devil's bargain, if you choose to accept it, is that this Kraken, whom is supernatural, this is actually Narciss's alternate form that has been imposed through ways.
Ways. Douglas, I have no idea what any of those ways are anyway. It's fine.
Yeah. The devil's bargain is that supernatural things are going to happen to anyone that's in contact with the Kraken. They're not going to be bad things necessarily. They're not going to be good things, but they're just going to be some supernatural things.
Like trippy things.
That's okay. Yeah, no, I'll take it.
Okay.
That sounds
Yeah, same.
It doesn't take a lot. I mean, much as Dan has found out in other games, I'm easy. You offer me something, I'm pretty much going to take it. All right. So here we go. One bonus die. Desperate, great effect, right?
Yep.
Which does.
Yep.
Critical, baby. Critical.
Sometimes those deals with the devil, they just pay off. They just really pay off.
How?
Biddy,
how
I'm
crazy
coming
would
for
that
you.
have been?
I got your back.
666. That would have been just too much.
That would
That
have
been too much.
We would have destroyed the stream.
I was looking back at our rolls from last time. 666 is what put Biddy in jail. Like, you had to roll 3 6s to put Biddy into jail with the narrative path we went down.
Oh, that's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The devil.
No, so I'm as Dark Dust leaps in with his knife, he's like, "Not with my friend!" There's a reason that we're Bash brother. Well, not brother. Bash siblings.
Yep, we're good. Bash Bros. No, that's not good. That's not good. Sorry about that, guys.
And our stream gets shut down. Yeah.
Yeah,
what-
I
so
was
what is
like,
it- what
oh
does this
no, I
mean,
forgot
GM?
that was a negative. That was a That's
Okay.
like the dark web.
I missed something. All right.
We can share it in private. So this was a critical, thanks to the Devil's Bargain. Otherwise, it would have just been a success. That extra dice was a 6. So this is increased effect. So really, what this means for the clocks is you're at greater effect. So that would have done 5 ticks on the clock. So we've got 3 extra ticks to do with what we want. I am going to start a clock called The Death of the Kraken.
So, does it get 3 extra ticks on that?
Yeah, and I'm gonna forward those 3 ticks to that. Do. Awesome. Okay, who all was in contact with the Kraken in the immediate? It was
I think everybody but
Bro.
me.
Everybody but Echo.
Yeah, everyone but Echo.
Everybody but me. I was around the rocks.
Wait, I don't. Did the Kraken grab Crow?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That's
Okay,
what
I
that's
didn't
what
know
I
if
basically
they
was
had
trying to
resisted
saw
it.
off the tentacle that had grabbed our friend.
Biddy was dropped previously. Did you can decide. Did you like reconnect with the Kraken, or did you?
My plan was that I was going to. That I
Okay.
was going to try and bounce back up on it to try and get at its head.
Yep.
So I'll take it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So
I'm not
Darkness
smart.
is just going at this thing, and suddenly it lets out this screech, and it begins to retract a bit. But as it does, these sort of ectoplasmic aura shines begin to give off and twist and move. The cavern begins to light up, and as it does, there's this flash, and in this moment, Dark Dust, Crow, and Biddy disappear.
No!
oh, oh shit!
The fuck?
Oh no! I'm the worst one to leave alone. I talk to people and I sneak around.
I just, out of character, I just want to point out this is perfect come up into somebody who's like, I don't like to hit things. It's so uncivilized to be somebody who's hitting things. Yeah.
Who, me? Little old me?
What? Your foot don't fit no limb.
Yum, yum, yum.
And Echo, you see this flash, and after the flash, you can see that for the most part, a lot of the water is gone. The place has this glow that sort of lights it up, and you can see the beach go down a bit, but continue all the way to the other side, some 10 or 15 minutes away. What does Echo want to do currently?
So if I understand this correctly, the beach, the water kind of just
Just gone.
recedes. It's just gone.
Yeah, in the flash, it comes back and it's not there anymore.
Hello? Well then. Put that down in the team of people who thought everything was going to go wrong. Well, with pistol in hand,
Just like loaded up, ready
Yep.
to go.
I'm just gonna go down the beach where the water used to be and see where everyone went.
Okay.
Are you humming Moana? How far you'll go in your head?
No, I it's a different song that I have to think about in my head, and I don't know which one it is. It's something in the realm of I don't know. I'll think of it, and it'll be hilarious when I think of it. But it's not that song.
I can't wait.
So we're just gonna go ahead a little bit with Echo and see where this goes, as we leave the other three in who knows where.
We're having
Echo-
pina coladas right now with the Kraken and No Man's Land.
Oh hell yeah!
Exactly. The best pina
British
coladas.
So when did you become a Kraken? Well, you know, it was very long ago.
Oh, that's very exciting.
That's
Tell us
That's-
more.
that's nice.
Echo, you continue. You move along the bottom of this grotto. You get to the other side. There's a door at the other side. Do you go through?
I would like to. Is it like a?
It looks the same as the door you came in.
Oh, yes. I will very gingerly kind of like push it open to see
Okay.
what is through.
You take a peek inside, just a little look-see. It looks like there's treasure chests. It looks like there's books, bookkeeping. It looks like this is the treasury.
I would go inside.
Yeah, and you go inside, and this is apparently what your group was looking for.
I will start loading up.
So you-
None the wiser. This is what I came here for.
Yep. So the other three of you, you're sort of in this ethereal area. Very weird, out-of-body experience. And
I had to mute
each of
myself.
you individually... It's pretty good. It's good. I enjoy this. The song choice. The three of you each individually hear a whisper to you. It's Satara, but it seems a little bit off, and it asks each of you, do you wish to learn more about the person you've bargained with, even if it means you might not get what you want out of them anymore? And each of you get to answer this question. There's no, you don't see each other.
Learn more about the person that we bargained with, but not get of all of what we wanted.
Yeah, it's basically asking, do you want to learn more about Satara, even though it might mean in the future you might not be able to get revenge or something like that.
Yes.
Is this being asked of us in the demiplane?
Yep.
Oh, you're asking Biddy if she's gonna forego revenge?
Yep.
That is a terrible question.
And you're asking Crow if they want to learn more things about the supernatural?
This Biddy doesn't hold knowledge very high in her regard. She just wants to
No.
kill whatever's messing with her. So she's like, pass.
I think
rather-
Dark Dust, Joran's his real name. Dark Dust is a little torn because he's thinking about, but knowledge could help me You know what? No, he's not going to take it because so far, in his mind, Satara is not a problem. Like a major problem. He realizes the complication, and all of that. But so far as he is aware, Satara has not caused him any significant grief to get revenge about. He's got that tattoo that kind of burns him, but he's a sailor. He's had tattoos that burned before.
Did Satara get me in prison? What got me in prison? We just fucked up, right?
I think that our heat level got too high, didn't it? I mean, we were doing stunts in the middle of the city in the canals.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed a fall guy, and I volunteered because I knew I could survive the prison.
Yeah.
So there's really no
at the prison.
Got it.
And that was the night that Dark Dust was duplicated.
Okay.
But he doesn't know about it, right?
Not really. I think
we determined that he did not.
You definitely saw yourself walk out of the room and make of that what you will, but...
Yeah, but he was drunk as hell, so...
Yeah.
I mean, when you're drunk off your ass, you kind of see yourself. So, no, not taking the deal.
Okay.
I don't care enough to take it.
Yep, that's totally fine.
Sorry, Crow.
Biddy and Dark Dust.
Tiny academic.
Biddy and Dark Dust, you open your eyes again, and you are on the shores of the beach. All of the water is gone. You take a look around. The cavern sort of has this nice glow to it now. You look and you can see a door behind you that's propped open a bit, and you can see Echo on the inside, who's just like piling coins into bags and just cashing out.
I'll just go, oh, oi! And I'll like run in there and start like rage looting.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Dust is all about helping with that, so it is fine.
Yep.
Eka will kind of like look over her shoulder and say, "Oh, there you are! I was doing all the heavy lifting for you."
Listen, after all of that, we're gonna talk later, little lady.
It's just, I'll just go, all is forgiven, and I just shovel in. I don't care. I will take whatever it takes for me to have 3 amount of gold to make it a full 5.
Dark Dust is broke because he spent all his money on getting healed after breaking Biddy out of jail, and after that last deal. So that was why he suggested something that makes us a lot of money. So if he's seeing coin, he's like, "Come on, let's do this."
I do have 1 coin, technically. I have 1 coin box, so I assume I have some form of money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference in the game between coin, which is the big stuff, and like your everyday spending cash, which we're poor, we don't have a lot. But like this isn't like the money that you use to go just buy a drink at the tavern.
It's like upgrading our cool lair and
So the
getting
stuff for
people
the
out of
crew
prison.
This is like making Sparkbug into like Spark Bird, like Spark Dragon.
A flying boat.
A fly. Can we do that?
We can start projects.
Can we make a dirigible, please?
Right? I'm just over here like
lightning.
All right. So, Crow, you begin to see this before you, these visions that come to you in this sort of ethereal plane that you're sort of here, not here. And you see this story of Satara, who is this jealous demon who's been sort of interacting with your group here and now, here and there. Recently has fled from your group. And you can see sort of the demonic place that she came from. It's full, it's crowded, but the weird thing about Satara is that she doesn't actually have a physical form. That's why she had to steal one. And you can see her spying on Duskfall, and she looks at the humans with this very jealous intent. You begin to see sort of the story that's played out so far, where she's been interacting with the group, trying to bargain with them, siphon power, and you can see now a glimpse of Sitara in Duskball as Dark Dust. That's the duplicate that she took, and you begin to realize that the only thing that Sitara is jealous of is humans and who they are. She wants to, that is what she wants to become, and that's what she's been working towards. And after that, it winks out. You open your eyes, and you are back on the beach.
So what you're saying is technically, she wants to be where the people are.
That's exactly. I was just thinking.
Yeah.
That. She wants to be a real boy.
Yeah,
She
no.
wants to be more human, walking around in those, what's that word again? Skin suits.
She has a skin suit.
Yeah, mine. But I don't think Dark.
Exactly.
No
he-
regrets.
Not that I don't think. Seriously, he literally just doesn't quite understand what has. Yeah, he's somebody's. If at some point Crow explains it to him, he might start to catch on. But at this point, he doesn't have enough information to draw that kind of conclusion.
Well, then
Yeah,
she's got
no.
the best skin suit on the market.
Yep,
Right?
no. Crow's just like looks at Quellen. Well, I have done a very good job today. Salutes. Goodbye, and then goes to help collect gold.
Quellen is like, she is upset, but she doesn't want to like say anything because she doesn't have anything that she can like. She doesn't have any marks to get out.
She has nothing she can do to me. Crow's like, I'm walking on sunshine.
Oh,
And she just,
this is
As
just a
they're
very
just
musical
walking.
episode today.
yeah. But yeah, no, and then Crow just like walks in and just goes, well, I've learned things. Also, gold.
Gold. Let's do it. How much gold can we collect, the four of us?
So
Yeah.
that is a good question. We're gonna jump back to the Blades in the Dark mechanics for a second.
Damn it.
We finished the main action of this score, so we'll go over to the downtime part of it. We'll assume that you've collected money, got the things you needed, picked up stuff.
Were we going to expose Narcus?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
There are
what were-
documents in the treasury that you can.
Okay.
That's what I would have definitely tried looking for those
Documents.
first.
Yep. You essentially get what you need to.
Things that are more precious than gold.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Secrets.
Oh,
So many secrets.
show me secrets. I don't get gold.
So you can sort of imagine like the mission complete screen shows up and we start like going through all the rewards and stuff.
So do we hear the dun, 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 dun? It's like we like slide down the pole and the flag goes up.
Yes.
Yeah.
You nerd.
I feel
I
like
was
Biddy
thinking.
would, just be in there, like, Biddy would just be in there like hitting the thing while every gold coin ding 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 ding.
Breaks the block.
Does someone want to do the notes on the crew sheet, and I'll go through like what to mark off as we.
I'll do it so it shows up on the stream.
Okay, awesome, nice. So first thing is first is the payoff. Your crew earns 2 reputation.
2 reputation.
2
If-
rep. Yes, awesome. That's getting us close to having some turf.
Yep. If the score is higher, you get 1 extra tier for each tier higher. This was a tier higher, so you get 1 extra rep.
Ooh.
So
Now
3
we're
total.
even closer to our turf.
Yeah. And then the payout is how much coin we got. So this is on the rules downtime sheet for the rest of the players to follow along on. So the options that I'm looking at are 6 coin is a standard score with decent loot, or 8 coin is a big score with serious loot.
Dude, tell me we got some serious loot.
I think that makes sense unless anyone has any.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Nah.
were literally like Scrooge McDucking in that place.
Yeah. Like just
Well,
like
I think the
4
I think the
things
idea,
of gold.
I think the idea also is that like like I was joking with my hilly voice, some things are more valuable than money.
Yes.
Information is more
knowledge.
valuable than money, and secrets and all that stuff that was hidden in those juicy vaults.
Yep.
Yep.
Secrets and lies.
Yep.
So,
Secrets and knowledge.
so are we saying 8 coin or 6 coin?
Let's go with 8 coin, and you can split it up how you want. There's 4 of you, so you could each do 2.
So suggestion. I'm just thinking out loud here.
Yep.
And Corey, please, I'm working through how I think the mechanics work, and I definitely do not fully understand how the mechanics work. If the crew currently has 3 coin. Now you could only hold normally a total of 4 coin.
Yep.
If you get to 4, then you need to do something to open up vaults, right?
Yes.
And we
I
don't.
know the
And we
rules.
would have to do a crew advancement of some sort, which we haven't worked through the XP yet, and that's fine.
Yep.
So that being the case, again, I'm just working through this in my head. I think that this one we don't put any of it to the crew because we don't have a place to put it yet. We might in a bit, but even then we can. It's fine. So yeah, I would like to suggest to my comrades here that we do take the 2 each and not put it to the crew, because the crew is going to benefit from whatever advancements that we get from our XP stuff.
Yeah.
So the crew still gets something, but they just don't get coin.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Fair.
Yeah, and I'm sure we all have our places that we squirrel away or we stash, because we're able to stash
Yes.
if
So you
we're
when
given
you get a stash, yeah, there's
Yeah.
a mechanic for that Corey, I'm sure, knows 1,000 times better than I do.
I'm not anywhere near stash, so we're all gonna take 2 coin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Does that mean like how wealthy are we now?
So 4 coin is like, that is the most money you can physically carry on your person. Like carrying more than that is impractical. 4 coin is like enough.
I think we have 3. I think at least I only have 3
you've got
coin.
3.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have 3 coin.
I'll take a look and find it, because it does really.
I'll find it while you're looking that up, while you're doing the rest of the stuff.
Oh,
You're more important.
sure. Cool. It's something like you have enough to buy good equipment or like an appliance or something bigger than that.
Guys, we can get the new dishwasher we've had our mind on.
Well, that would be wonderful.
No
So the
more
thing is,
washing dishes in the sink.
If
I
you
just
get
want a
that-
microwave.
Wunderbar, wunderbar.
The one with the good popcorn setting.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you get the
We must
stash,
have the
when
best-
you retire, if you're
You're
at
such an
stash 0 through 10, you're a poor soul. If you get to stash 11 through 20, you have a tiny hovel that you can call your own. And to get to a simple house gets to stash 21. Monetary value, 1 coin is a full purse of silver pieces, a week's wages. 2 coin is like a weekly income for a small business or a fine piece of art or a set of luxury clothes. 4 coin is a satchel full of silver, a month's wages. And in our case, we got 8 coin, a good monthly take for a small business, small safe full of coins and valuables, a very rare luxury commodity.
So we're really good at our job because we made in a day what most people make in a month.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we don't make it
we're
every
very
day.
good. Made it once, but that's,
That's true.
enough.
So the next question is our heat. There's a couple things here. So first we pick what sort of like section we're in. I'm looking at 2 heat. It says contained standard exposure, or potentially loud and chaotic, but I don't like the Kraken was loud, but
It was
Those
underground.
It was also contained.
yeah. So I feel like 2 heat makes sense unless anyone else has other ideas.
2 heat?
Yeah.
Or not to heat.
That is the question indeed.
Yeah.
Whether it is nobler to suffer the senses.
And then we've got a
Why
couple.
would we get 2 heat?
That's the contained and standard exposure. That's like the very
The
base.
normal base.
So yeah.
That's okay.
Do we?
All right.
No, I'm good. I was gonna make a question, but no, I think I would like to not suggest more heat. So I will
the next-
add, unless
Yep.
Corey's telling me otherwise, 2 heat to the crew sheet.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Add 1 heat for a high-profile target or well-connected target.
Yes, sir.
We gotta
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
high profile. I mean,
He's kind of, yeah, he was a high profile target. Technically.
I think because he can turn into a kraken now, that makes
now.
okay. Yep.
It's such a shame that he got bamfed into that dimension before we had a chance to kill him.
Yeah, we were making progress on that.
We were making very good progress. If Biddy had gotten a really good roll, she could have finished it.
Yep.
I didn't have a chance to go savage in this one.
Add 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. Now, this is not actually hostile turf because this weird grotto does not really belong to anyone. It's just, it magically appeared, and there's some things that have been going on, but the noble doesn't actually own it.
Okay.
So I think you're fine on this one.
Grody to the max.
Yeah. Cool. +1 heat if you're at war. You're not at war. And +2 heat if a killing was involved. No one was killed, so.
Unfortunately.
Despite our best efforts.
Despite our best efforts, indeed.
Everything went fine despite our best efforts.
That's how this game goes.
Yep,
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome. So next up is the entanglement roll. So after the payoff, roll dice equal to your wanted level. So I'll just hop on that really quick.
I want it.
Cool. So this is gonna be like after the mission, like what happens, who investigates you, what's the like follow up. So this is a 1. And right now your heat is 3. So this is gang trouble or the usual suspects. Yeah, what kind of like usual things? What's
What do you
some of
mean?
the follow up? Who's typically pestering you, being like, "Hey, did you do this illegal thing?"
I mean,
Mm.
I definitely go to the pleasure houses. So, am I getting the third degree from?
what, you got a girlfriend there?
You don't know.
Fair.
There might be pillow talk. You don't know. Girlfriend, more like girlfriends.
Fair.
Hey. Hey.
I mean,
I
it
took
is
a
your
lot
vice.
of I took a lot of stress. I'm gonna have to indulge.
Oh, God, I just realized
That
needing
is
to
exactly how
indulge.
this game works.
Yep.
Oh, worrying for my needing to indulge is going to be fun.
Outside of that, I can't think of anybody who would be like really.
Other
Get
than
it,
maybe
our
a
business.
vampire. A vampire might be questioning Crow like, hey,
I forgot that I got to
Vibe.
mark an XP.
what
in
the fuck
prowess.
happened?
Um,
All I can think of the vampire. Specific vampire, but not just
Yeah.
a random vampire.
let's say that each of you sort of has like your contacts that like want the gossip and to sort of know a little bit about what happens.
The hot goss.
Yeah. And
But like
so
I
the
said,
follow-
I offer up. So here's a suggestion, Corey,
Yep.
for your entanglement stuff. I'm trying to just bring in more threads.
Yeah.
My rival is a noble. So just a thought. My rival is Rosalind Kellis, a noble. So maybe Rosalind gets some word that I did something like that.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. So keeping all those in mind, the two options are you can either resist questioning or pay off these groups with 1 coin collectively. And then based off of which direction we go, we can see what happens.
Do we care if they know that it's us? Like, is it one of those things where if they know or they're asking questions, like, we suddenly are under a lot of heat? Is that what the thing is?
Yeah, what's the result of not resisting or paying somebody off?
Do we just get better street cred?
If you don't resist, it's probably 2 heat. If you're just like, yeah, we'll talk about it.
I'm trying to think if Biddy's smart enough to keep her mouth shut.
I think this is a question for the spider and the I don't remember what playbook Crow uses, but I think I'll leave that to the more intelligent too.
Oh, that requires the academic to not be like, wait, I can go tell my mentor all about this thing I did.
I can just see Crow being like, well, Bembridge scholars, you know.
Kind of. Just like
I would say
yes,
that
I am to go
Dark Dust's interest is in keeping things quiet, whatever that ends up meaning.
Well, then if Dark Dust asked Biddy to not talk about it, then she wouldn't.
Yeah,
she wouldn't do
no.
anything.
Yeah,
If-
that's
And nobody, I don't think anybody's going to really care as long as.
Yeah, Echo would
Yeah.
not tell, like, not admit to anything, and would in fact try to do the opposite and try to pawn it off on someone else.
Okay. Yep.
Ooh,
tell-
perchance, my own, not rival, but someone of whom I have a distaste for, who happens to be a chemist nearby, whose name is Riven.
Put the blame
Who-
on them.
Yeah, who also has aspirations to be greater than they are.
Yep.
So I would try to put some shade, some heat in that direction. Try to take it off of us.
Okay.
Is anybody
cool.
else hearing Fifth Element? Give me some heat, man. Give me some heat. Because that's what's going through my mind.
All right. So we'll do a roll, and how this roll works is it's a fortune roll. Basically, it starts with 1 dice. We can chat about higher or lower for a little bit, and then we'll see what the result is. So we talked a bit about it. Is there any reason why this should go better? These people bothering you, or why it would go worse?
I feel like it would go fine because
Yeah.
I feel like, no offense, the only loose cannon is our academic.
And she's
Well,
kind
and
of tiny.
and Quellen.
Oh yeah, Quellen.
Mm-hmm.
We have a witness. Do you want me to take her out?
I mean, we become.
Well, I've tried that. It does not tend to do anything except get you stuck with her.
I thought
Witnesses!
I thought Biddy and Banshee were interested in dating Quellen previously.
Probably.
Okay,
Was
I wasn't sure if that
was Quellen really hot?
She was the sultry person that you delivered the spirits to.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, no, that fits
Yeah.
the exact. I'm like, yep, nope. The best part
How
is I
about
feel
this?
like
How about this? I'll just keep her distracted.
Crow just go. Well, honestly, Crow would just go. Well, okay, but on one condition. You are very tall and large and strong.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yes, I'm
So-
talking. Yes,
That was-
yes, Bitty, you are very large, tall, correct?
yes. I
Well-
will say.
Well, I will not lie and say I'm not intrigued. So, you keep her distracted. Maybe. That.
Is this a date?
This is 100% Crow trying to proposition Benny just on the base purpose of I'm intrigued and academic, just
wait, are you
academic interest.
Is Crow propositioning Bitty or is
Yes.
Crow okay?
I was propositioning Benny just for the base purpose of you're very strong and very large,
And I'm curious.
yeah.
Okay, so you're like, we should try this for science. Is
Exactly.
this what's going on?
Well, science. Also, Crow's just like,
I love it.
but yes, this is
I love
Ragnar.
Sure, as long as you're buying the drinks.
Well,
Like, I'm
well, we just got some money, so sure.
So wait, so who am I keeping distracted?
Quellen currently.
Quellen, okay.
Presently, Coellen.
Listen,
In the future.
I'm the one that's like writing down my dates' names on my hands. Let's see, it's Tuesday. It's
So Crow is propositioning that Biddy should go date Quellen. Is that right?
Crow's propositioning that and also followed up with,
But also, let's
And then
try
it's my
this for
turn?
science.
yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, fair. I'm just.
Everybody's
Dark Dust.
one
You know,
thing
I was
right,
thinking,
and
does
that's
Dark Dust? I was trying because I was asking that question, thinking, does he pay attention? And he's like, no, because he's about to go get smashed, so it's fine.
Listen. Biddy took 6 stress, so she's got enough vices that she feed to go around. So, and her vice is stupor and pleasure. So
Yeah.
she's gonna get drunk with Dark Dust, and she's gonna make love to a lot of different people.
Yep.
Sweet, sweet
Love.
love.
Okay, so jumping back to the fortune roll. just gonna roll that and see what happens.
Corey
Give
is just
that.
reminding himself why we only play once every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm a new.
God, this shit is. I can't
I
stand
love it.
Fortune roll.
All right. So we rolled a 2.
An entanglement, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
in our entanglement. This is for the usual suspects.
Fortunate.
So this ends up being the case where each of you have these people that are like talking to you, chatting with you. Biddy is sort of like keeping Quellen under wraps. But someone
Haha! Sorry.
Well, she does like that.
Sorry.
I'm also sorry, but I just felt like I should.
Ginky. Cool. Moving on. We're keeping people under wraps. Wraps.
Yeah. Yep. Someone does gossip. Something gets out. What is that information and who contributes to that? Off of what we've said so far.
I'm
you
just
said
gonna suggest
something
that
gets
this
out?
is
Yeah,
that
information
love
gets out.
triangle.
The love triangle.
I mean, that's just my idea. That's all.
What? Love triangle between Crow
Biddy,
and
Quellen, and Crow.
Quellen? That's what gets out?
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Quellen is very like particular about making sure that her business arrangements are like in order and to the standard of like when she shares visions or like gets spirits, all those things. She likes to make sure it's in her stuff is in order. Just add that to the consideration.
Okay. So are we saying that she leaked something? Are we choosing what's getting leaked?
Something
Or-
about the score gets leaked that generates heat. It could be from Darmit or Riven as well.
Okay.
We mentioned
I'm-
those as options.
Totally good with Darmit somehow. So Darmit, by the way, is Dark Dust's ex-lover.
So many.
It's one of those on again, off
we
again.
have
Like,
so many X's. We do.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, so far Dark Dust just has the one, unless you count Satara. Anyway, so and Dark Dust, and Darmit is a blue coat. He's a cop.
Yeah.
To be sure, he's not like an honest cop by any. Not that I don't. There's not even barely such a thing in Dustmall.
So what you're saying is he's a dirty cop.
They're all. What I'm saying is all of them are dirty cops, and he is definitely one of those. And so he is definitely a possibility for that.
Okay.
I
So
think
are you saying that how much money we got from this heist is going to get out?
I think so.
Okay. And we're deciding who it gets out to?
Yeah, like what is the channel that makes it public?
Like who leaks it?
Mhm.
I think that's
And it could
most
be
likely
multiple.
to be you or me, Biddy. Like Echo is very unlikely to ever leak
What if
anything.
What if it's the both of us? What if we just got trashed on like the first night and started bragging?
That is exactly how
Yes,
our characters.
or you not even necessarily that you're bragging, which could also 100%.
But maybe we're just
But the
slinging
fact that you're
money
just
around.
like you're buying a ton of drinks and they're
Yeah.
all expensive and you don't usually do that, and so it's like
Right.
super.
Bring us your finest bottle of wine and
Yeah.
the coin purse. Yeah, I like
And-
that.
and
I feel like
This is the third time now that Biddy and Dark Dust have gone out to get smashed together after a score. So I think everybody's connected to the pattern. Oh, look, it's those two doing that thing that they do whenever they go steal
They-
a fuck
yep.
ton of money.
just out of being creatures of habit. We always go to the same tavern because we're not thinking straight. We literally are buying up anything that's like gonna get us.
That's more than $20. It's
Yeah.
it's on your tab.
We're no longer ordering the well whiskey and then counting out the pennies and seeing who's gonna buy what. We're going in and getting like Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that I like that.
drink's empty.
Are we cool with that? It's like we thought that Quellen and whatever
Yeah.
and Crow were gonna be, and it's like literally Dark
It's
Dust.
literally just you guys.
It's literally us, and it's not even
Yeah.
on purpose. It's just because we're drinking and
It's the
we seem
circumstances.
to have-
No, I assume that any leak that comes would never be from Echo, the least likely person to ever leak anything about any.
Unless I do it on purpose.
Right, right.
Yeah.
This is not the on purpose part. Okay. All right, Corey.
Awesome. So that is the entanglement that adds 2 heat to the crew for mechanics.
All right,
So
we
spicy in
go-
here.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ, this is
Spicy.
getting hot.
So hot and
It's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot in her.
so hot in here.
So the last thing that we would normally do is everyone gets 2 downtime actions. Typically, I've saved these for off stream because they can take a bit of thought and we're running out of time. What we can do though is jump to the end of game part. In this part, we'll go through each character, and on your character sheet, at the bottom left, there's a spot for experience. And we'll just go through each person and do that.
Quick
Yeah, Kyle?
question. Before we
Yeah.
do that, can we do the crew XP?
Yeah, we can start with the crew. So for the crew, it says at the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP or 2 if it happened multiple times. Execute a successful smuggling or acquire new clients or contraband sources.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Well,
I think
yeah.
you just stole.
Yeah, we
Isn't
stole.
that-
We didn't smuggle or get contraband.
I thought it said heist. Did it not say heist? Was
It
I
says smuggling
hallucinating?
I'm looking at it. It says smuggling specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't smuggle shit
Yeah.
other than our greed into that building.
It was that was a lot of greed to smuggle in though.
Yeah.
What? Can we not say we smuggled ourselves into that building?
That's not.
Yeah.
It was stealth.
Yes. And there is like a stealth-based one, but I don't
All
think
right, I
this
tried,
one-
guys.
Yeah, it was a good effort.
A
So-
for effort, D for execution.
The next one is you contend with challenges above your current station.
So that's a question I think almost to you, Corey. Was this challenge? So we're tier 0.
Yeah.
Was this above our current station?
Is a Kraken above a tier 0?
I mean,
It's
it
a
almost
noble who can
TPK'd
turn
me.
into a Kraken, a tier 0.
It is in fact above your current station. Now, the follow-up question is: did this happen multiple times? Was there like something else? Do you think that possibly came into play? I think that's it, but
I think that's it. I think that's it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So 1
the
XP.
ne- Yeah, 1 XP.
Oh, we're
that
full.
brings me full. And I will figure out what that does in a second.
Yeah. I'm not gonna try to choose the advancement. I'm just bookkeeping
Don't we
on
get to
stream, so
choose
people
an
can see
extra
it.
another special ability?
Yeah, or you get upgrades, and I think you also get a bunch of money. When you
Let's get
Money,
that
money, money, money. And we can.
money.
Yeah, we can figure out that stuff in a
Yeah.
bit. I just wanted to.
Yep.
I'm only
So-
checking because it shows up on the stream this way. Other than that,
Yeah.
it's all up to Corey. It's not all up to
The-
Corey, but a lot of it's up to Corey.
Yeah. So the next one is you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
Can I suggest we developed a little bit of a new one? That we didn't
What
just
was that?
smuggle. We went in and straight up stole shit.
We straight up like
We're
rob
just
the
straight up
police.
robbers.
We're
Right.
like, screw smuggling. Let's up our game. Let's rob somebody.
A cult robbery.
So Corey's got.
Yeah, I think you could grab that if in the future you actually did like downtime actions to further that. Like you can start long-term projects and stuff, and I think if that came up,
That
That hasn't happened in this session, so we shouldn't count that now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
and then the last one is you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
So I'm going to make a suggestion here, and I'm curious what all four of you think about this. I feel like, A, pulling in 2 new members, which is definitely part of how this crew operates. We're always, like, putting together new...
Not necessarily new, like they could have been around for a while, they just
Sure.
haven't been in the spotlight.
But also, I feel like, and I'm totally fine if somebody says that's not how this works, but I feel like the almost sibling-like nature between Biddy and Dark Dust, and Dark Dust jumping in, and even Crow, who was new, first time out on a job with us, jumping in, I feel like that kind of reflects how we have operated. Because Biddy and Dark Dust have always been the Battle Brothers or whatever the right. I want to use the.
We'll
the
call
term
it
that
Battle
makes
Bros.
people-
Yep.
Battle Bros,
Don't say
yeah.
what I said.
Let's not revisit that.
Yeah. I was using the term that Biddy used earlier. Battle Bros
Yeah.
is good. So, is that the kind of thing that we're talking about here? Because we didn't smuggle, so we didn't really kind of express that essential nature.
Well, you said that you were very driven by gold, and so you expressed that. I'm
broke.
Biddy's very driven by violence or the promise of violence and wealth. So that was expressed, and so these are desires of the people. And Echo wanted information, and so did Crow. I feel like we were all getting some kind of payoff in this heist, and we expressed those vocally.
Yeah.
Yep, I would say that makes sense. And like combined, you all went after your character's goals, and I think that's worth an XP.
All right, so I added his +1 XP in the notes to carry over past the advancement.
Yeah, cool. So I'll just mention what happens when your crew upgrades. You can either choose a new ability, or you can get 2 of the upgrades that are underneath. We can figure that out later. But most importantly, each of you gets 2 coin into your stash.
Oh.
Into our
Ooh.
personal stashes.
Yeah, into your personal stash.
Wow. We just got really wealthy, you guys.
Yeah.
2 coin into our personal stash.
Yeah. And now we only have 3 minutes. But are folks okay with going a bit over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Unacceptable. 180 seconds or I'm out.
Who would like to start with their XP? Anyone got any initial thoughts?
I guess I can go, right?
Sure.
Because I've got a fresh XP.
Yep.
Let's see. Every time you roll a desperate action, I rolled 1.
Yep.
Yeah, because I rolled 1.
It's in that actions attribute.
Yes. I'm just
Yeah.
scrolling up to find out where that was.
It was when I was doing
Swimming.
something.
The prow was swimming. That led to the Kraken.
Yes. I think it was when you were wrecking the Kraken.
Yeah, I think that was my resist.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it was your Pravel.
Yeah. Okay.
So that gives you 1 XP in your prowess.
So you address a challenge with violence or coercion. I feel like I address every challenge with violence.
Yep.
So 1 for that, right?
Yep.
You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I mean, I believe in violence and money.
Yeah. I would give that one.
I was like she's a simple creature. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. I don't know. I never got the chance to go savage.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to suggest yes to you, my friend, because your whole thing about jumping in the water was, I want to be violent, even though you as a player, not as a character, as a player knew there was a Kraken in there. You're like, fuck it. I want to hit something really hard. And you jumped into a lake with a Kraken in it. And I'm just going to suggest that fits your trauma. That's just my idea.
I think it was more like, I don't sit still very well anymore, and so it's like, I'm gonna try and move this forward in hopes that it's going to end badly.
Well,
I think
and
that
we
might
got
be
extra
tough.
heat from being drunk and talking in public.
What do you think, Alex?
I feel like my trauma making me more savage is making me less patient. That's at least how I was addressing it, and so there are things that I wasn't too keen on waiting long for, which is why I went into the lake. I was like, I'm not going to just sit here. I'm just going to go swim. Even if Alex, the player, knew that the Kraken was in there, I was just trying to find a door so we can get someplace.
Yeah. Okay.
And then my constant asks of whether you wanted me to kill the noble. Are you sure? I can brand them, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm
Or-
going to say yes.
Or do I need to kill?
Where do I need to kill it? Directly.
And you can put that XP in any of the spots.
Any of them. So I can... Cool. I can start...
Yeah. I'll let you move that around however you
Got
want.
it. I will take care of it. That is me.
Who's up next?
I'll go next. Just
Okay.
to kind of roll out the experienced players, and then the new players have two ideas of how it works. So my first one is, you address the challenge with stealth or evasion. I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, our whole thing was stealth.
That's true. Our our plan was
do
stealth.
stealth plan.
Our whole plan was stealth.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take that one. I won't take two for it, just one.
Yeah.
My beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. So my whole heritage and background has to do with being a sailor. Does that fit the whole fighting a Kraken thing, do you think? I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking.
Is there some background where Dark Dust has wanted to challenge a Kraken before, or
In my mind, the thing is that he was on one of those Leviathan hunter ships
Yep.
that go out to get the demon blood or whatever. So I feel like kind of yeah, sure, I'll go fight the biggest monster out there kind of fits. So I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Sure.
And then struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. And I'm going to, similar to what I suggested to Biddy, on that one say yes once, not twice. Because we got extra heat from getting drunk which is his vice specifically, is he drinks too much.
Yep, I think that makes sense.
Okay. I'm good.
Cool.
That was easy. Quick and easy.
Yeah, I filled up my playbook advancement, so I'm gonna do. Just so everybody knows, I'm gonna take. I don't know what I'm gonna take yet. So
Okay.
Marie or Abby, do you want to go next?
I can go.
Sure.
Bum, 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 bum. I didn't do any desperate actions. I was not a desperate person. You address a challenge, right? You address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy. I feel like I did that at least once.
Which time?
Well, I think it was when specifically the one that comes to mind is completely avoiding all of that stress and or harm from falling rocks because I outthought a giant cephalopod boy.
Yep.
Cephalopod boy.
Yeah.
Sweet. I think that makes sense. And you can put this experience on the playbook one, which will give you more abilities, or if you want, you can put it on the attributes, which will give you more dots.
Interesting. Perfect.
Yeah.
You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Since you're a new character, you can also like tell us what they might believe in and things if you want to.
Gotcha.
Well, you definitely expressed your distrust for Biddy and her
Yes.
demon rumors.
Yeah. They worked in conjunction with a powerful ruler who happened to be a demon. And they worked as like a spy and an informant for them and was pretty ruthlessly betrayed by them prior to their current position in life. And as such have kind of gotten a lot more hesitant with trusting those who have any sorts of dealings with demons or others.
Yep. I think that's worth an XP.
Woo! Then struggled with issues from my vice or traumas during the session. I'm not a traumatic person. And I don't really have any issues because my vices are the theater and also a club downtown.
That is so pedestrian. I love it. I love it so much.
Yep.
I'd like to go and listen to a good opera.
Yeah.
The theater.
When you get your first trauma, oh, you're gonna see. What
I'm
happens
so
then.
excited.
But
Oh
that's-
man, I'm
that's-
so excited though.
We're gonna
Honestly-
start going to those theaters like in the Interview with a Vampire
Theater.
that have like the dead.
When I was in college, I used to work at a building that was directly behind a theater, but it was the kind where certain kinds of movies would get shown and they'd have to hose the place down afterwards. So maybe.
Ew.
Oh.
Backpedal. Moving on.
Wonderful. Yay, I got experience.
Yeah. All right, Abby, do you want to do crows now?
Yeah, no desperate actions. You addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. I did that at least once or twice. I can think of at least once when
Yeah.
they shot lightning at a kraken.
Yep.
So
I think that's
one
worth
there.
it. Yeah, and if you have other ones, we could maybe do two. If you've got other ideas as well.
The fact that they spent most of the thing trying to figure out what was, it was like, wait, maybe it's this, but wait, it might be this, but I don't know. I'm trying to I'm grasping at knowledge of just like, oh yeah, no, lightning, that'll do stuff. That's good. Also, just the whole thing in the demi-plane.
Okay, yeah. I would count that because you said yes and were interested in it.
Yeah, knowledge.
Yep.
True. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I'm gonna say yes. My
You want-
tiny child who constantly is like, but there's knowledge we could have, and the fact that their response to, oh, Biddy might be a demon was, let me get notes.
Let me take
very,
measurements.
very up close and personal notes.
Pretty much. And
All I
also
can think
just
of is,
being,
like her pulling my face down and like looking in my eyes and like
oh, that's 100%. Also, the background
Right.
heritage thing is, oh, a kraken. I remember those. Because, yeah, Crow comes from a very strange place.
I love it.
There's also a reason why no one has seen Crow's eyes.
Awesome.
Crow and Dark Dust
I
may
think
have some
that's
stuff in
XP.
common.
Yeah. And I did not struggle with issues from my vice or trauma.
Crow and
My
Dark Dust
vice
might be
is
from
weird.
Might be from the same general region.
I do have a
Icaros.
question. Could
Yeah.
I make a plea for another XP? You address a challenge with violence or coercion when I went with Dark Dust and try to be very intimidating.
So you're going for the coercion?
Coercion. Because I did
Hmm,
take stress for that.
Yes. I think we can go with that. I'm on the fence about it, but if you want to, share.
Ultimately, Alexandra,
Yes, sir.
ultimately, it's the way the book is written. You have to decide if you're for yourself if that's how you feel. Like it's a thing that
I mean, that's
that
why
you
that's
have
how
the
I was
final
trying to play
say.
it. Yeah, that's how I was trying to play it. I was trying to play it like that brute would break a finger or two if needed.
You are the brute squad.
You
I am the brute squad.
I
are
love
the Brute
Biddy
Squad.
so much. Biddy's so much fun to play with.
Sweet. So, I'll follow up and give everyone 2 downtime actions. I think Biddy has an extra one that we can jump on if we want.
Yeah, I
And-
never got to use it.
Yeah, and we can check out those and do that as we want to. Otherwise, I think that's all the stuff for tonight's session. We can do our outros and wrap outs. Let's maybe we can end with Kyle because you're on tech and can do that. So really quickly, my name is Corey Hickson. I am on Twitter for the same name. I was really glad to play Blaze in the Dark again because this is a game that I enjoy a lot. It is my top 2, and yeah, I just really enjoy all the cool stuff that we got to do. Do you want to jump to Alex next?
Hi everyone, my name is Alexander Gaston. You can find me on the Twitter sphere at Crit Charisma. You can find me at Hal Daggers everywhere else, Twitch, Instagram. I feel like every Blades game Corey has done, I have played in, including the very first one that was not streamed.
That's true.
And so I'm super happy that I'm still able to kind of journey through with this this essentially grog character that I just wanted to play as a way to just not have to deal with any thinking at all and just be cool, which is a great thing to do. You can also find me tomorrow night here on Variant Roles at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be playing with the Ravnica crew. Stop on by if you think this makeup is cool. You should stop by on Mondays because that's when I pull out all the stops for my elemental monk. But I loved playing with everybody today, and it's always a pleasure to play with Kyle, especially with playing with Corey as my DM and Maria as being awesome. And it was awesome to meet somebody new. It was nice to meet you, Abby. That's me. Sorry, that's me. Bye.
Oh yeah, sorry. I should direct who goes next. Maria, please.
Hello. I'm Maria Moore. I am at Happy Capster on basically everything that involves the social media. You can find me here like all the time, basically almost every Sunday now, it seems. I had never played this before, and it was amazing and wonderful. And Corey, you were a gracious gracious host to this wonderful party, and to the rest of the players. You were wonderful and beautiful and gracious, and I loved being the smart one. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to play pretend.
Well, you were the bookish nerd in our like little Hogwarts style mad mage.
Yeah. I liked pretending to be smart in games, you guys. It's fun to play pretend.
Abby, do you want to? Oh, are you done?
No. I was just saying it was also great to meet Abby. I've seen you around in the variant roles, and it was nice to put a face to the name, as they say in the Urban Shadows.
God damn it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Abby.
Yeah, I'm Abby. You can find me at Citrine Warlock on Twitter and pretty much everywhere something that has to do with the void. At this point, I'm just falling into that aesthetic. Yeah, this was my first ever cam streamed game. And I'm glad it was this one because good God, this was amazing.
Thank you so much for joining. It was fantastic.
And plus I got to be my weird non-binary crow child. Who just wanted to study and blow things up with lightning. And I did both.
Sweet. Kyle, do you want to tell us about yourself, and then you can do our outro screen?
Take us out, yeah. So first of all, I was just thinking, Abby, when you said that, we should almost rename this channel Void Rolls or Voidrient Rolls or something, because everything around here is about the void.
Or variant rolls into the void.
Right, straight into the void. So yeah, my name is Kyle. You can find me online in most places as TechnoScald. I live here on Variant Rolls, as you'll hear in a minute. And I write a blog at technoscald.me that is about Dungeons and Dragons and Dungeon World and other powered by the Apocalypse games like Blades in the Dark and other role-playing games just in general. So check me out there or on Twitter. Just as a quick promo for the channel, we've got a lot of stuff coming up this week. We've got Ravnica tomorrow at 7 U.S. Eastern, which Alexander's on, and I don't even know who else. And Thursday we've got MCG Mixtape that at 7 p.m. Central U.S. Words. I've had a lot of whiskey tonight. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for running some Monty Cook game stuff. Friday night, I'll be back here running... what am I running? Oh, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We're in the very last level, confronting Hallister Blackcloak. Saturday afternoon at 6 Eastern, 5 Central, I think. There'll be a follow-up new Saltmarsh thing that Anders is running. And if everybody's ever seen Anders, he is awesome and great, and everybody should watch him. And then Sundays are jam-packed around here with all kinds of spoopy goodness. This is like our third kind of semi-goth game today. So, it started with Gothic Brunch, and then the Old Myths, and then this today, and I don't know what's going to be on Friday evening next week. Now that Urban Shadows is over, I'm so sorry.
Well, theoretically, unconfirmed, we might be doing a Q&A next week.
Ooh.
So keep your ears and eyes peeled for potential. Check the socials. We'll let you know if it is a thing, but potential Q&A next week. Fingers crossed.
And at the end, I'm going to...
And Dan is saying we're going to possibly raid some people.
Yeah, we're going to raid some people. Yeah, I'm going to pump all the variant roll stuff at the very end. I love this tonight. Corey, seriously, thank you so much for running this again. I know you don't run it that often, so I'm always doing that. I was so happy to play with a new person because I've talked to Abby online before in Discord, but never got to play with them before. Maria and Alexandra, I was so happy to play with you both again. I always enjoy playing with you. It's so much fun to play with both of you. You always bring everything. And Corey's just our sweet little brother who is also a really, really good game master and just an adorable little kid. He's not actually a little kid. I'm just fucking old. That's all.
He looks sweet, but he will have a crack and tear you in half.
Right, exactly. As one does. So thanks for that. If you're enjoying what you see here, please follow us or even subscribe on Twitch Follow us on Twitter at Variant Roles. Patreon. We have a Patreon at Variant Roles. And we're always looking for new people who are awesome and inclusive and warm and friendly to join this place that is all of those things. I love it here. This is my home, as you can tell, because I live here, because this is literally my 4th game in 4 days on this channel. So I really enjoy it, and I hope all of you, we all want everyone to feel warm and comfortable here. So with that, in a minute, Dan is going to have us raid another channel. I think it is, I Need Diverse Games, which I believe is directed by the incomparable Tanya DePass, those who know Cypher of Tyr and whatever, but there are more people involved. So feel free, so stick around for that. And other than that, thank you again, Corey and Dan and everyone. We love you all. We have us in our hearts. We have you in our hearts. We'll talk to you later. Bye.